Guten Tag.
Merci beaucoup.
Hallo. Hallo. Guten Tag. Meine Freunde. Das ist gut
You
hier.
can do the intro.
Hi guys.
Wrong.
Hi guys.
Wrong.
Hi guys.
Stop moaning.
Hey! Everybody.
Nope, still not right.
Hey, everybody!
Welcome to the
Mezzoscale
podcast.
That's Spanish for the Mezzoscale.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, my bad. Good.
No, go ahead now.
Welcome.
You do yours.
Welcome to
Wrong.
the Mezzo.
Wrong.
Hey, everybody!
Welcome to the Mezzoscale podcast. It's your host, AL. C-Dubs.
C-Dubs.
What's up, everybody?
C-Dubs.
How you doing, C-Dubs?
Why are you asking how I'm doing?
Because.
We've been together the whole day. I appreciate the sentiment.
Well, I just figured everybody else would want to know how you're doing.
Yeah, I'm good. Tired.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I swear.
So where?
I swear.
Yes, queen.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Stop. Stop.
Stop. Please stop.
For the love
For
of
the love of God.
stop.
Well, how is everybody doing? I would like to know in the comments below. Today, am I introducing today? Can I introduce?
Yeah, you could introduce.
I can introduce? I'm introducing.
Intro.
Well, listen, everybody. Today, we are doing a interview or a consult. Didn't we? Oh, constellation.
Constellation.
That's what we call them now, because who was it who messaged me about that? Freaking awesome. So, today, though, we are doing a constellation with Mackaroll _165.
Mackaroll, Mackaroll,
Mackaroll,
Mackaroll,
Mackaroll,
Mackaroll, Mackaroll.
Mackaroll. Mackaroll. Mackaroll. Mackaroll. Mackaroll. 165.
165.
165.
The fish
Hey.
of our sea.
Our sea.
Yeah. The fish of our sea.
Like the fish of the mesoscale
Yeah.
sea?
The Mezzo Sea.
The meso sea.
Oh.
Wow. Well, I'm so excited for this interview with.
They call me Poseidon because
All
I
right.
smell like fish.
We haven't done any jokes yet. You
I
can wait.
thought
That was really good, though. That was so good.
I thought it was funny.
Well, listen, we are so excited to invite Mackaroll here to the point that C-Dubs is crying. Should we bring in Mackaroll?
Yeah, we should.
All right, Mackaroll. Here we go.
Mackaroll, macaroni.
Remember, we're doing a consultation with Mackaroll _165.
Macaroni.
Mackaroll. Maybe they should count how many times we say mackerel.
Mackaroll.
Also, if you guys haven't seen who Mackaroll is, they got a super cool fish. It's a mackerel fish.
Holy mackerel.
They have a mackerel fish as their picture. So everybody go.
What's mackerel's favorite food?
Macaroni.
Mac and cheese.
Macaroni.
All right.
So if you guys have the chance,
Oh.
go follow them because they're really fun. All right, let's bring them in.
Friday night. I'm thinking that.
Say it louder.
Oh, are we recording?
We are recording. You can say it louder.
No, I'm not going to. Not in this episode.
Why?
Because in this episode, we are interviewing...
Mackaroll!
Mackaroll!
Mackaroll.
Macaroni.
And cheese.
Macaroni, mackerel.
Macaroni.
Mackerel. We already did the intro for
We
this
already
episode.
did.
But Mackerel, say
welcome,
hi.
Mackaroll. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just the Discord thing.
That's great.
Yeah, it's all good.
That is so good.
Okay.
Sorry, hold on. I got to pull up my notes now. You got it stuck in my head now. Fuck you.
Hey, Mackerel, have you seen I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson?
Tim Robinson. Oh my gosh, I love that Netflix show that he's in.
Yeah.
Friday night.
I'm thinking that we just might fly away to someplace we don't know who we are.
I like the one where he's on the zip line.
You're only here for the zip line. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What is happening?
No, there's just like zip lines.
That's
I also like the one where looks like the pig, like the weird pig in a mask. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. That's my dream. I want that. Give me that animal.
It looks
That's
like,
awesome.
Looks like it's a Nick.
I want the pig man.
We have Mackaroll 165 here. And we just want to say, first off, thank you so much for letting us interview you. We are so excited to do this interview with you. Our first kind of like start out question that we always ask is just tell us whatever you want to tell us and the audience, just to get to know who you are, the type of writer you are. We would love to know. Again, everything is based on what you want to share. And then also, side note, if there's anything, because sometimes we get on tangents or ramble, if there's anything that you are like, can you please cut this out? Just let us know, and our editor will edit that out for us. So just so you know that. But we would love for you to just introduce who you are, and then we'll kind of roll into a few more questions after that.
Sounds good. I had to do a news anchor pause. So, hello everyone. It's your resident fish. It's the fish. I am Mackaroll _ 165. Also known as Mackaroll, or the fish. I was born several years ago, somewhere on Earth in the Atlantic Ocean. For the longest time, I thought my mom was a plastic Kroger bag I found floating in the ocean. But on a serious note, no, I am from the Midwest of the United States. I'm in my early 20s. I'm currently in a graduate program in the medical career. When I'm not studying or writing spooky stories, I enjoy listening to music, going for walks, and hanging out with my friends. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to give my best friend in real life, who will see this, I'll send them a link, a birthday wish, a happy early birthday, because they love horror. So we chose the anonymous name DJ Khaled. It's an inside joke. So, DJ Khaled, if you're listening, you are a blessing in my life. You have inspired me to become a better person. You've inspired me to keep going when things were low. And I love you, buddy. And I can't imagine this life without you, and I can't wait for many more years with you.
Aww.
That's so sweet. I didn't know I was going to be in tears this podcast.
Makes me want to break out.
Very emotional person.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You want to break out in song?
Yeah.
Please don't.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that introduction. We are so excited to...
Oh, shout out. Happy birthday to DJ Khaled.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
From the Mezzo Squad.
Squad!
Another one.
Bites the dust.
Another one.
Another one. You was smart. You was important. Another one.
Okay, so, Mackerel, we talk a lot about on this show your guys' writing, and your story has stood out to us a lot.
Which also, before we even continue with the question, sorry, because our audience needs to know, we've already read Mackaroll's, like, one of their stories. We read...
There's something up with my neighbors, and it's traumatizing everyone involved.
We read that one, and when I was talking with you privately, you said that it's actually a series. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, sir, it is a series. It is actually 9 parts in total.
First off, I have to say, and we'll get more like detailed in a few minutes later on in the questioning. First off, phenomenal story, mind you. And second of all, I cannot wait to pick your brain with this, because you have been the first person who's made me cringe.
Yeah,
And I don't get that a lot. So I'm excited to kind of pick your brain. But everybody who hasn't heard the story, feel free to go check that out, because it was so good that we are already planning on doing a full story read of all of yours in one episode. So we're so excited to do that.
We're going to call it Mackaroll Biopic.
Stop.
So sweet.
So, anyways, continue with your question, C-dubs.
Oh. Have you seen Bring Her Back?
Is that the one? Oh gosh, I get them mixed up. So here's a fun fact. I actually don't like horror movies.
Whoa!
What?
So I have visual snow, so a lot of times after horror movies, I'll see like traces of them.
Oh.
So it's also a visual thing, unless for some reason I am perfectly fine and love horror comics.
That's good. Horror comics are bangers. That's fair. Then you probably wouldn't have seen it, because this one's very visceral.
I will say I've gotten better with horror movies. Like there's some I really I'm trying to think of it. Why can't I think of the title right now? I would say I'm more into like kind of ones that kind of make you go, what the heck is going on? Like Dogtooth. Dogtooth is, I wouldn't say I like it in the capacity of that I think it's like a good message, more so like, oh my gosh, these people are messed up. Full CPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like Bring Her Back. There's a scene in it where this kid starts chewing on the blade of a knife.
Oh my god.
That is the equivalent of the visceral reaction I got from your story.
Yes. And
Oh, that sounds sick.
if you have the chance to watch it, and if it doesn't bug you, you should watch it.
Oh, hold
but
on.
it is pretty, it's
Hold on.
intense.
It's very graphic.
It is very
and it
intense.
is very trigger warning. Lots of abuse.
Yes.
Lots of like crazy shit in that movie.
Read up on it before you watch it. That's for sure.
Especially.
Is Bring Her Back the one with like the pool and the lady tries to bring back her daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I've seen parts of that.
Yes. Well, there's a knife part, and oh my gosh. When we say we were imagining your story, oh my god. But I don't want to jump into your stories quite yet. I just want to let everybody know.
Yeah. Okay. So, sort of starting off with a real banger, your personal discovery of your love for writing. We all have kind of a similar story of just discovering that we're good at it or decent at it. What is your sort of history with writing?
That's a really good question. So my earliest memory of at least like horror writing in like a serious capacity comes in 6th grade. So my English teacher put up a challenge to whoever can write like the spookiest or scariest story. Since it was like October and it was near Halloween, they get to get student of the month. Me being the goody two-shoes I am and wanting to be a grade A student, I was like, oh, I'm getting student of the month. No one's getting student of the month except me. So, and I love praise and affirmation. I'm a big words of affirmation person, so I don't remember the exact writing process I had, but I do remember I was like, okay, what scares people the most? Dolls. People don't like dolls. I like dolls. Not American Girl dolls, but dolls. And so I wrote this story about dolls in a dollhouse, and I remember there were dolls hanging from the ceiling, like with a noose around their neck, and I read this story to the class. And I know this sounds like, like one of those Reddit stories where it's like, and then everyone got up and clapped. And then, all that generic stuff. But it's true. I remember I read the story, and I just remember seeing everyone's shocked faces, and I was like, huh? And then people came up to me and were like, oh, that's so scary. How'd you come up with it? And I was like, what? Because I didn't know. And I know that sounds stupid, but, like, what I just mean was, like, I was a slow child. But anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, I got student of the month after that, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm decent at writing. So then after that, I've always been a really fast writer as well. I've just written like papers and stories within a matter of days. I've just always been a fast writer. I don't know why. I think it's my ADHD medication. So I'd be fortunate, by the grace of God, of course, thank the Lord, that I'd be able to get these 10, 20-page papers out for assignments. And then this past fall, I had a really, really unexpected and emotionally devastating event happen to me. I was super sad for a couple of months, and then since I'm a big Papa Meat fan, I eventually came across Creepcast, and I remember the first story I listened to, it was Confessions of a Deep Sea Diver, and at this point, I was at my lowest, and listening to these two dudes make light of these stories that would have scared me in the past just gave me this weirdly odd sense of hope. So from there, I just was hooked, and then eventually it led to Tales from the Creeps, and then I just gave up my stories to Tales from the Creep, and then I've been here ever since, and now I'm here on the Mesoscale.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
I think, honestly, a lot of our, I don't know, I think where did this idea, what made you sort of commit to it, I guess?
Following through with the neighbor story. So initially I was just like, like I said, and part of it was just trying to cope with this thing, but I was like, what if I just go as absurd as possible? What if I just go to the absolute far reaches? Because I don't know, maybe this is presumptuous of me, but I feel like people just get to the edge of going too far and then they immediately pull back. I feel like people don't full throttle, jump off a cliff into absurdism. So I wanted to be like, what if someone wore their wife like a gimp suit?
That's such a crazy sentence.
That is. Like, I don't know how to come back to that.
That's such a crazy sentence. Oh my God.
I love it.
It's so much fun. It's such a fun visual. So, sort of moving forward.
I promise I don't bite.
Okay, well, we have talked a lot about the story we read. How, after listening to it, how did you feel about our rating of the story? And then do you feel like it was fair? But then also, how would you rate that story through the meso scale?
Oh my goodness, that's an extremely good question. I thought it was so freaking kind. I was like, oh my gosh. I knew it was, this is gonna sound so arrogant, but I knew it was good, but I didn't think it was like 5 good. Like, in my head it is, because I wouldn't put it out there if I didn't think it was good. But I didn't think that it was like something to where people would be on board, so I thought it just went too far at some points. Like, you guys visibly cringe. I listened to that the other day, and I was like, I could just hear like C-dubs being like, ah, and I could just hear I could just see like the visual of you guys like scrunching up, and I was just like, oh. So I was like just thinking in my head it's a 5, but I understand I try to remain realistic and just try to be like, more down to earth, like, oh, sometimes I miss words when I write my stories, or I could have used a better description here, but no, that was very kind. I thought I would get like a 4.5. I got a 5, and like I said, I wouldn't put anything out there if I didn't think it was a 5, so yeah, I'd give myself a 5. I hope that isn't too presumptuous or arrogant, but I'm just very proud of how it's helped people and inspired others, and yeah, how it's helped me.
No, I love that, because I am so glad that you guys are wanting to put your work out there, because it's scary to put your work out in front of who knows how many, thousands of people. So I love the fact that you were able to, and I love that it was a 5. It was such a good story that me and C-Dubs always talk about it. We have not stopped talking about it since reading it.
Oh yeah.
It's probably a bad thing because of how much we've talked about it. Because we were actually doing another interview with Walker Bewitching Hour, and he was like that made me cringe. And I was like,
same, we did too. This is like, I was so pumped and excited that you agreed to interview, because I was like, I feel like we're gonna fucking be jumping back and forth. And so like,
oh yeah, no, I love this.
This is so much fun for me, because one thing, and I think we can all kind of agree. Junji Ito is kind of my Lovecraft, if that makes sense. I don't have a
Very Lovecraftian?
Yeah, very Lovecraftian. But I love the visual so much because I could totally see it. Like in my head, just see the exact image which you were trying to portray. And it's just, God, it's so awful, but so cool at the same time. Oh, man.
Well, it's like taking saran wrap and just putting your face and just keep stretching it, and it just keeps pulling, and it's kind of like that, but then there's like blood dripping down, and it's just like, you see those blue eyes, because they're so human, so I could imagine, that's what I imagine in my head, just like this very like...
almost like too tight of clothes kind of thing on a person, where it's just like, and then you just see like...
exposed like muscle fibers underneath, and it's just there.
That's exactly, oh my God. Just the facial like pulling like on the nose and on like how it's not just stretching her skin, it's compressing his, so it just looks so abnormal.
Oh yeah.
Man, and I loved the scene where it was like it described him as a normal dude at first, because like the guy wasn't turned around yet, and so right when he turns around it's like, oh no. Like,
oh yeah, that was like, because it's like you hear two voices but you only see one person.
Exactly. I did not see that coming.
I'm glad, because I was worried about that people would catch on. So I was like, oh, maybe if I just like, because and then like, bam, jump scare, image in your brain.
It was an earned jump scare.
Yeah.
Like I gotta say, like, all jokes aside, like it didn't feel cheesy. It didn't feel brickish. I'm gonna start using that to describe like when gore goes too far.
Gorish, draconian.
Very. Who's the guy that writes that? We just talked about him.
Indubitably.
Witherell.
Witherall?
Is it Witherell?
I thought it was Witherall. I don't know.
I will have to do research. But we'll figure that one out. And then I'll create a word to describe when gore goes too far. I guess Terrifier is a good example. Terrifier.
The Terrifier movie? Oh, I like the Terrifier movies.
It burnt me out so fast. I was like, I don't know about it. I see the budget. The budget was like $35,000. Like that was it. But it was very, like, for $35,000, really good. But I think like they started going for more shock factor and torture porn, and like it was just like that's just my opinion. But
no, that's chill. Different strokes for different folks.
Yep. All right. So moving forward, so we talk a lot about your writing and what inspired you and sort of the positive sides of writing, the positive responses to your story. We're going to talk about something a little different. Have you had any negative feedback on any of your stories? If you have, how do you sort of, I don't want to say cope because it makes it sound like it's something crazy tragic, but how do you push past those negative criticisms to improve on your own writing?
We don't.
Fuck yeah.
No, seriously, I've been very fortunate enough that, the Tales from the Crypt community, as well as most other horror writing communities, such as Dreading, Mesoscale, oh my gosh, I can't think right now, Anxiety Pilled, I'm probably missing some, Scary Stories, Horror Stories. They're very kind to me. Very rarely do I actually get anything that is mean-spirited. Usually, at most, it's just harshly worded, but well-meaning feedback. Okay. I don't think I've seen anything explicitly where it's like, this sucks. But, I would say just kind of like, in the few cases where it was kind of like teetering, I would just ignore it, don't interact with it, I would say take a look at what the content is and see what this person is saying. Because even if they're saying something that is complete bogus, there might be something that they're trying to convey. Mm-hmm. Even if like the words themselves are not making sense. And determine, is someone like, could I pull a good point? Like, could I do a better, could I do first person perspective? Could I describe this in a different way? Because you're gonna always pull something out. But if it is complete bogus, I just always think of that James Charles clip of where he goes, "Womp, womp, womp." Yeah. Yeah. Womp, womp, womp.
The voice acting is fucking killer, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sometimes you just gotta like just ignore it. It's just not even worth like responding to, because that's all they're doing it for. They want a reaction. They want you to comment back and be a little pissy back, and then
Right when gremlin.
yeah, just fucking just jump on them like a white on rice. But okay, so sort of staying on the negative side of writing, unfortunately. But these are great questions. So we all struggle with writer's block, just kind of something that happens in the trade, part of the ship, part of the crew. So how do you handle your writer's block?
Once again, we ball. But you gotta remember, I'm still a fairly new writer, so I haven't gotten too much writer's block by the grace of God. So I would say, very much just go with the flow. My therapist always talks about riding the emotional wave, and, there's different waves, so if one of the waves is that writer's block, you just write it out. And then if for some reason you really, really want to get something out there, just go back to that wee-ball mentality and just throw something out there and hope that it sticks. Well, you probably should put some nice stuff in, you probably should make sure it's quality work, but what I mean is, if you really want to stick it out, just accept that you're not going to have it totally the way that you would actually love, because I've had that with a couple of my stories where I haven't been able to describe it in the way I hoped. But if you really want something, you just gotta work with what you got, and then if not, you just ride it out until it's ready to come your way.
Hell yeah. No, I definitely agree.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, we ball. We fucking ball.
We absolutely ball.
The final question we have, we actually have two more. Well, I have two more. Is,
Give me all the questions.
what would you like to tell the audience? Is there anything that you would like to, any advice you would like to give them or anything like that?
That's a really good question. One thing I like to tell the audience, and then I'll do advice, and just general positivity, is that I will be gone for a bit here, so don't think that I don't care about the community. I'm going to try to keep in touch as much as possible, but my real life comes first. And then I'm grateful to this community, and I would say advice-wise is just don't be too hard on yourself. You gotta remember we're on a floating rock or disc, depending on your beliefs, or cube or turtle or whatever you believe. And just know that, at your deathbed, you're not gonna be like, dang, that one Reddit story only got 12 upvotes. My life is over. No, you're not gonna be thinking about that at the end of the day. So, of course you don't want to post anything crazy, well, I have, but that's something I plan to stay anonymous. So I would say just try to be kind to yourself and try to be kind to others. If just try to uplift others. Being kind isn't always the easy choice, but it's the right choice.
That was good.
That was so good.
That was clean.
I'm not sure what happened to our audio on that end.
Yeah.
But we're so grateful that we were able to even have the interview with Mackaroll.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to let everybody know we are not sure what happened to the ending because I wasn't able to give everybody my fish joke.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to save that for another time.
Yep. Well, there will be another interview with Mackaroll in the next few 100 episodes. I don't know how long we're going to go without interviewing somebody, but it'll be eventually we'll get back to you.
Thanks, Mackaroll.
Thanks, Mac.
Thanks, Fish of the Sea.
Fish of the Sea.
All right. Well, because of that, we are so sorry, though. Seriously. We feel so bad. We were having technical difficulties, and so I know that interview was just kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because even though we lost that, we have a great long story to tell you.
Yep, we will be covering the entire Piece de la Résistance
by
Mackaroll.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, was the one part that we read?
Yep, that was part 1.
That was part 1. So we're jumping to part 2 now. So if you want to read part 1, or if you want to hear part 1, go back a few episodes and we read that. It was a very interesting story. So I'm excited to see what comes next in this series.
Yeah, definitely check it out because, I mean, you'll be completely lost.
You will, because we're going to start off very...
We're in it.
Yeah.
We're in it.
But we're excited. So, should we just start it off? Do we have anything else?
Not really. I say
Perfect.
we kill it.
All right, here we go. Fine, I'll do it. Fine. My neighbors are still traumatizing me.
Yeah, it's cool. You got it.
No, you can do it.
No, it's all right.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's cool.
It's fine.
My neighbors are still traumatizing me by Mackaroll 165.
I'm on a higher dose of Prozac.
Hell yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm on a higher dose of Prozac since regaling my story. I never opened the blinds to the window in my bedroom facing their house anymore, and Zoe still won't stop pooping in my garden. I know it's her because I see her out of the living room window staring at me. It's so weird. She will maintain eye contact with me. I'm not even sure she blinks. I usually try to look away, but every time I try, she just starts meowing loudly until I look at her again. It makes me feel gross. Job had his 9th birthday recently. I was invited. The whole neighborhood wasn't awkward with Harold or Bianca at this point. They were back to their cheery selves, not removed from oddity as expected. When I took the long journey of about 30-40 steps in their backyard, or flashbacks briefly, before being greeted by Bianca.
Oh, Tracy, I'm so glad you can celebrate Job with us.
Oh, is it Job?
Yeah, it's Job.
Fuck!
It's all right.
Sorry, Job. She said, seemingly popping out of thin air, grasping my hands over the gift box I was holding. It just felt like someone set a random pair of leather gloves over my hands.
Gross.
She led me to the long table with about 20 chairs, and I sat at one as she took the box with her. The way she was carrying the box made it look like she was moving heavy dumbbells. She was hunched forward, grasping the box with both hands. The only visual description I could give of her carrying the gift box to the sliding glass door was that of a moving swing set on stilts. When she got to the sliding glass door in their backyard, she began slamming her face violently. For what was the equivalent of lightly smacking a purse against glass, it was louder than expected. What I thought was a horror movie trope playing out in front of my eyes, I would come to learn was just her trying to get Harold's attention to open the door since her hands were full.
That's pretty funny.
That is actually
Go. Harold! Go.
No, she didn't even call for Harold. She just slapped her head on the door. I saw Harold rush from somewhere else inside their house to the sliding glass door to open it for Bianca.
Sorry, honey. I was just grabbing Pappy,
he said as he let her trudge by him. I noticed he was carrying what I thought was a large white ball underneath one arm and holding a pillow in his other hand. He walked outside. I noticed Zoe slipping out, I swear, and I saw walking up and him walk. Oh my gosh. He walked outside. I noticed Zoe slipping out, I swear, and him walking up to me. As he got closer, I realized it wasn't a ball, it was an eyeball. The eyeball spun around from underneath his arm to look at me with a milky eye that had hints of once being blue. It blinked in his arm, crusty eyeballs emerging out of God knows where. I didn't realize he was right in front of me because I was so focused on the eye.
Oh, I see you've met Pappy. Don't call him that, though. He's only okay with family calling him that.
He said cheerfully as he walked past me to set the pillow and then placing Pappy on top of it. Pappy was positioned at an angle facing toward the open space in the backyard.
What should I call him then?
I asked.
Well, I know history. I know history knows him as Zenith the Warmonger. You can just call him the Ancient One.
Why do I even bother at this point? I just gave up at that point. And it honestly writes itself.
What is the Ancient One doing here? Oh, well, you know, every blood member of my family, which means me and Job, have it to demonstrate a variety of skills to Pappy on our birthday each year to prove we are worth keeping alive, or else Pappy will smite us.
He replied casually as he walked up to me again, with his hands on his hips now.
That's indeed something that I know now occurs.
I stated. I wished in this moment I never gave up alcohol. I would rather be pissing in my sink again than have a skinless man explain the eyeball lore to me.
What will happen if he isn't impressed with what happens?
I asked jokingly. The mood changed when I looked up at Harold to see a horrified facial expression across his face. It was like a wave of negative energy rushed over me.
Never say that again.
He said in a tone of voice I had never heard from him before. It was a sharp and firm, but slightly anxious. I recoiled and flung my hands up instinctively, as though I was at a gunpoint as I sat in one of the many chairs at the table. His demeanor almost as quickly snapped back as soon as he processed my reaction.
I'm sorry, Tracy. I'm just a little more stressed out than usual. I just want Job to have a good day and make Pappy proud.
I could feel a hint of sadness under the forced charisma. Soon other guests started arriving, all the neighbors. My favorite neighbors were the neighbors directly across from my house. David and Joe are amazing people, great partners, and loving fathers to Job's classmate, Rosemary. Is it Rosemary?
I think it's just Rosemary.
Rosemary. It could be Rosemary, though.
It could be Rosemary. It's spelled Marie, but I'm just going to say Mary.
It was always a treat seeing them.
Hey, Trace!
David said as he walked towards me with his arms open for a hug. I got up, walking towards him, and we gave each other a hug before stepping back to converse.
You see the ancient one? First birthday? I've seen this. Maybe Grandpa. I don't know. For 3 birthdays in a row now. I know I don't want my kid to be judgy, but it's a giant eyeball thing. Is that the neighbor?
You're mixing it up. Yeah, so she
shit.
said...
Okay. You see the ancient one? First birthday? I've seen this. Maybe Grandpa. I don't know. For 3 birthdays in a row now? I don't know. I don't want my kid to be judgy, but it's a giant eyeball thing. That's what I've been saying.
I whispered to him intensely. We sat by each other as we watched Job and Rosemary, who were now playing in the backyard with Sparky.
Where's Joe? He's with Bianca. I made him help her with the rest of the party stuff. She's so sweet, but she needs to work on her upper body strength. Well, that's really nice of you guys. It's the least we can do for the parents of Rosemary's best friend.
We watched as Sparky squared up, throwing haymakers at Job's skull, knocking it off his head. Rosemary would pick his skull back off the ground and put it back on his neck, and the cycle would repeat. It was somehow so interesting and disturbing at the same time. Sparky was really winding them up too. I didn't realize he was a southpaw. I'll try not to ever fight that man-dog thing. About 30 more minutes passed before everyone was seated. Bianca served us dinner, boiled eels stuffed with mayonnaise and radishes. I lied and said I was allergic to eel. I was then given a can of baked beans instead. Turns out lots of people were allergic to eel, and the few that weren't ended up throwing up minutes after eating. Harold, Job, and even Bianca scarfed down the
amalgamation.
Sure. Job then walked to the open area of the backyard to make an announcement.
Hey everybody, I'm Job. Today, I will do some cool stuff and watch this.
He said clearly, but with some shyness. He started with some somersaults and cartwheels before transitioning into a choreographed dance to the song Numb by Linkin Park. A slew of things followed included. Taking off his own head, holding it as he monologued some random paragraph from Shakespeare, playing hot cross buns on the recorder, and ended it with Sparky beating the shit out of him again, only to be rebuilt like a Lego character. I saw Harold and Bianca's head snap towards the Ancient One in my peripheral vision. I turned to look at the Ancient One. The eyeball began to vibrate before splitting open like a Venus flytrap. Inside was a pile of wet, red, sloppy flesh being cradled by the split eyeball. Job walked up to the split eyeball and stuck his hands in. He seemed to be searching for something in the mass. He stopped and pulled out a $100 bill in one handful and a handful of Jolly Ranchers in the other.
Baby approves! Baby approves!
He cheered with delight as he held the attempt for gifts and victory above his head while running to Harold and Bianca. Harold and Bianca got up from their seats, meeting Job halfway and hugged their child. For a moment, despite the absurdity of it all, it was nice to see a family so loving. I couldn't make out what sweet things they were whispering to Job. His happy giggles gave me everything I needed to know, though. Even if a husk, a skinless man, and a skeleton child were what comprised this family, a lot of families cannot feel or express the love I witnessed between them that day. I would know. Just as soon as the absurdity left and came back.
Oh, honey, don't forget.
Bianca gestured towards the eyeball as they ended their group hug.
Bianca, what would I do without you?
He gave her a wet, bloody kiss on her cheek before walking toward the split eyeball and picking it up off the pillow. He let the mound of flesh slide onto the ground as he walked back to his wife and child. He was humming pleasantly during the retrieval. What I witnessed next is something that makes therapists have a thick wallet. Harold bit into one of the eyeball slices and started chewing hastily. I saw Job open his mouth as he stood in front of his father.
Ah.
As a kid.
Oh.
Ah!
He said as he opened his mouth wide. Moments before, I could see Harold spit the chewed up eyeball into Job's mouth. I felt something yank my arm, turning me away from the scene. I was yanked away by Joe, David's partner, who was sitting across from me. I'm grateful he forced me to turn away. He was gripping my arm so tightly that it left bruising later on. I know he didn't mean to hurt me. I know that because he was using his other hand to help avert and block his vision from the feeding. Joe is a naturally quiet man. He isn't antisocial, rather just a big believer in actions over words. That was exemplified that day. I could tell by the tenseness in his body language he was uncomfortable. I saw David in the corner of my eye, who was also faced away from the event happening behind us. He was chugging a flask of presumably some form of alcohol. We sat there for 20 agonizing minutes, the only noise being Harold crunching into the eyeball like an apple, chewing noisily, letting his lips smack before audibly spitting in Job's mouth. After 20 minutes followed a moment of silence. Then I heard small footsteps get closer to me, following by a tug on my shirt.
Tracy! Look!
Job said excitedly. I turned to see that Job now had icy blue eyes in his eye sockets now. I didn't know what was worse, that they were identical to Harold's, or that despite having no skin, Job could blink.
Wow, that's cool, buddy.
I said, forcing every ounce of enthusiasm I could muster along with my smile. I forced so hard my jaw hurt the next day.
It's party time! Woo!
He said as he ran off somewhere else in the yard. The rest of the birthday party went on as normal, opening cards and presents, cake, store-bought, thank God, and normal yard games. As I played horseshoe, I couldn't help but notice Sparky and Zoe eating the flesh mounds off the ground. Zoe was actually eating it, whereas Sparky just shoved it onto his mask-like face, leaving a huge stain and more pulverizing flesh falling back onto the ground. Job really liked skateboarding. What? Job really liked skateboard I got him. I think it's supposed to be Job really liked the skateboard I got him. He went on a brief rant about how he could go skateboarding and have Sparky pull him. Did you ever do that with a dog?
No.
I had a dog. This is so random.
I was attacked by my childhood dog.
That is true.
It tore my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a dog. We had those razor scooters, like just like the one that, I don't know, the metal razor scooters. Anyways, I had one, and this dog had so much energy, and so we put him on the leash. There was this one day that I just my mom was like, go walk the dog. So I was like, okay. But I didn't want to walk the dog.
Yeah.
So I put the leash onto the handlebars of the scooter. And that dog can cruise down the road.
I could just see that.
And so we did that. We did that almost every day. And the dog never got tired. It was awesome.
Jeez.
We went around and around. And then, so every day after school, I would just go do that.
Isn't that how you broke your arm?
No. You want to know how I broke my arm?
How'd you break your arm?
I was going maybe like 0.5 miles coming home from school with my little pink Razor scooter. I hit a bump, like literally my tire, like I don't even think it went over the crack,
Oh my god.
but it hit the crack and I flung myself over the handlebars and I tried to catch myself and I catched myself on my left arm and I broke it.
Did it snap in half?
No,
Did you get a weird like bulge?
I don't know. I played my best piano lesson after that.
Oh.
And then the next morning I go down at 5 a.m. to go practice the piano for an hour. And I couldn't move it from my body. And so I only played right-handed. And I go up to my parents and I'm like, I can't play with my arm. And my mom,
Mama, Dada, look at my arm.
It's all black.
and my mom goes,
Ah!
my mom goes, I think we should take you to the doctors.
Oh my god.
And then like, 3 hours later, I was in a cast.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That was fun.
The only time I got into a cast, I was wrestling against a big dude who threw me against the wall. I believe he plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers now.
Wow.
And he threw
He's
me
living
against,
up.
literally like just cast me to the side, and I smashed my finger
Ooh.
backwards, and it broke the growth plate.
Ooh.
So they had to throw me in a cast because they're like, well, your pinky won't grow with the rest of your body.
Yeah, well, I bet you didn't have a cool peanuts sling, did ya?
No, we were in New Mexico, so I'm glad it was even somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. All right, here we go.
All right, back.
He ran up to me and gave me a hug before running to Sparky, showing him. Sparky looked up and gave him a thumbs up and returned to mashing flesh into his face. I just imagine this person in a dog suit, just thumbs up.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Hell yeah.
Woof.
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 And then just walks away. Oh, let's see. A couple of hours later, the party was finally over. I never have tried to speed walk so suddenly in my life. I got to my house and locked the door. I spent the rest of the night trying to find ways to relax. A bath, cartoons, meditation, the whole works. It didn't help that when I went to sleep that night, I saw the Ancient One appear in my dreams. He spoke to me in French with a deep, distorted voice as he rolled himself in circles on the ground. I was told Prozac gives you vivid dreams, but this even feels too specific to only attribute to drugs. I didn't know how to feel. I'll update you again. I just wish Zoe would stop clawing at my front door these days.
That was part 2
Of
My neighbors are still traumatizing me.
part 3.
Part 3.
Part 3.
Part 3.
Job had been running around with his eyes in his skull now. It was so cartoonish looking, but so uncanny. I'm so used to seeing him without eyes that every time I see him, it takes me a couple of seconds to register that it is him and not something out of a Tim Burton movie. Well, my neighbors are kind of like something out of a Tim Burton movie, but you get what I mean. I just meant that it makes him look more out of place than being a living skeleton already makes him. Everyone tries to act like he isn't a living skeleton because human deceit, but I see parents, except Rosemary's living dads, who will mouth,
Oh my god.
or
What the fuck?
as they turn to walk away from their house when Job had play dates. It's understandable, but also kind of mean. We technically have no exact clue on why at least Harold and Job look the way they do because of the Ancient One, actually. Now thinking about it, why does Bianca look like the way she does? Even though Harold and Job look equally as strange, at least the presumable source is from the eyeball, though that still remains vague, but Bianca remains a complete mystery. I mean, unless there's some sweet home Alabama stuff going on that they are hiding from the neighborhood. I have no clue why Bianca's
Sentient.
sentient skin. What does that mean again?
It's for something to be sentient, it has to have clear thought and can verbally communicate, I believe, is the rules.
Oh.
So, like, if a pencil box was sentient, it can talk and think and communicate.
Interesting.
Yep.
Cool. I can't exactly go up to her and ask.
Why are you a human skin husk?
That feels not only rude but unnecessarily aggressive, even with all the context. That will have to be something oh my gosh, I cannot read today. That will have to be something I figure out or hope somehow she overshares in conversation. Anyways, I've been rambling too long. For today's focus, I want to talk about their dog and cat. I have left some details out unintentionally given the more pressing matters of wearing your spouse and strange birthday rituals. Let's start with the less nightmare, including pet Zoe. She's a pink and gray Sphinx cat with a pink collar with a metal tag that says Zoe on it. She has one green eye and one blue eye. She's never allowed outside in the winter, but they will let her outside in the fall with a pink sweater on. Well, fun fact about Zoe, she glows in the dark. She glows a bright teal in pure darkness. I've seen her dart across my yard many times. Sometimes she will get sweaty and leave teal paw prints on the concrete sidewalk that quickly fade. Her diet mainly consists of rotten meat and dead batteries. She loves dead batteries. Harold and Bianca went door to door one day asking for dead batteries from everyone in order to feed her. Now, whenever someone in the neighborhood needs to get rid of any kind of dead batteries, including car batteries, Harold and Bianca will happily take them. Zoe also eats electronics. Period.
Also, just a side note, thanks for taking one for the team on that. You know what.
Oh. He can't say batteries.
Good.
He says batteries.
Good.
Not batteries.
Good.
Hey, you're the one who pointed it out.
I did. I feel bad now.
Zoe also eats electronics. Period.
Period.
David and Joe also left a smashed flat screen. Oh, David and Joe once left a smashed flat screen TV out on the sidewalk in hopes of the garbage people taking it to the following morning. I looked out the window in my bedroom facing the street, which also faces Joe and David's street. David's house. Just kidding. For once, I was not tortured by noises.
For once, I was not tortured by noises.
I watched out of grim curiosity.
But I watched out of grim.
I understand. For once, I was not tortured by noises, but I watched out of grim curiosity. I was going to go to bed, but when a real glowing cat is eating your neighbor's broken TV, you can't help but stare at it. That cat must have a titanium mouth with somehow stronger than titanium teeth. I remember watching her take huge chomps into the TV's corner, watching it crack before being pulled away violently by her. She gobbled the entire TV down in about an hour. At one point, I saw her visibly gagging on the wires. She threw up a strange hairball, if that's the term that could even be used, of copper wires. She began playing with the copper wire ball, swatting at it with her glowing paws. She even rolled onto her back, exposing her belly to everyone who could see. What I found to be quite disturbing is that in darkness she had one huge spot, which I think is a giant nipple. For all I know, that doesn't glow, so it's just a circle of black among the teal in the night. She sat back up after playing with the copper wire ball for a bit, ate it, and then returned to eating the TV. I started recording at that point, and when Zoe finished, I texted the video to David. I woke up the next morning with a text back that said,
"That cat has got to be from Chernobyl or something."
Aside from Zoe glowing in the dark, potentially having some type of demon mark or a giant nipple on her stomach and eating electronics, she's fairly a normal cat. It's Sparky that is the true abomination. I think the scariest fact about Sparky that I have yet to mention, Sparky is about 6'4", if not taller. I haven't had the opportunity to exactly measure his height, so give me a break. That's right. This dog, man, That's right, this dog man thing towers over everyone. He looks like he's just some tall dude wearing a cheap but fuzzy dog costume. Bianca mentioned him being a rescue, maybe rescued from Satan's nightmares? But not from a shelter I've been to. Sparky moves like a man and even talks like a man, but will only ever say,
Woof. Bark.
or,
Grr.
in the voice of a monotone man who sounds done with life. The suit is brown, and my closest breed I can guess him to be is a brown lab mix of some kind. He also had these huge cartoon eyes pasted on the dog mask. I would say akin to googly eyes, but the pupils don't move. Ever. Other than eating like a dog, I would assume this is just some guy with a puppy fetish, but isn't willing to fully commit to the role. For all I know, this suit is his skin. I've never seen any gaps to reveal human skin underneath, so for all I know, Sparky's a living husk like Bianca, only with better, more controlled movements. I think that keeps me awake at night, is that Sparky is freakishly athletic and freakishly strong. Harold and Bianca regularly have to replace boards in the wooden fence because he will punch clean through them and break into mine as well as other neighbors' backyards. I was once getting some tools out of the shed in my backyard, and Sparky decided to cleanly leap over the 5-foot fence, stare at me, and then he started to do the doogie.
Teach me how to doogie. Teach me how to
He did not break eye contact with me as he did the doogie, even though I walked into my house carefully not breaking eye contact in case he charged me. I slammed my glass sliding door and locked it. When I turned my back to set down my tools and looked out the sliding glass door, Sparky was hitting the doogie about a foot away from the sliding door and more intensely. I texted Harold to come get him.
Okay. Go ahead.
I texted Harold to come get him. As soon as I could hear Harold's calls for Sparky getting closer to my back sliding door, he stopped dancing, ran back towards the fence leading to Harold and Bianca's backyard, and jumped over it cleanly. There was an incident Sparky had with a different neighbor that both terrified and perplexed me. You see, David and Joe are directly across from me. Next to them and across from Harold and Bianca is a man named Terry. We don't like Terry, despite the absurdity of Harold and Bianca. Terry's a horrible person. He had told me on multiple occasions that I would be prettier if I smiled more.
Whoa. That's my line.
Sorry.
Yeah. So go ahead. Set me up.
Fine. He has told me on multiple occasions that I would be
Prettier if I smiled more.
and has literally walked up to Rosemarie and tell her that her dads are going to hell in front of her. Dads as well. We don't like Terry at all. I would rather live next door to Bianca and Harold than Terry. Anyway, so you can imagine when the tennis ball Job used to play with Sparky one day rolled under his car. He wasn't too pleased because why would Terry be rational?
Hey, Jack Skellington, get your ball out from under my Tesla.
Terry screamed as he ran out of his open garage. Job and Sparky was running up to his driveway to get to his car. It was then, with one hand, Sparky grabbed from underneath the passenger door side and flipped the car onto its side. I know how crazy I sound, but I will never forget the sound of the glass breaking as it fell onto its side and car alarms blaring. Job ran to the tennis ball, which was now able to be retrieved in the newly opened driveway. This was when Terry decided to make another totally irrational move. He pushed Job on the ground and started screaming in his face.
Hey, Crypto here, just flipped my Tesla, and you're worried about your stupid ball?
Terry screamed as his face turned red as a tomato. Now Job cannot make facial expressions, but based on his body language, this was a scared little boy. I know it was a crazy situation, but what did Job do? I realize how crazy this all sounds, so the next part will make me sound like a lunatic. Sparky grabbed Terry by his thinning hair, yanking his head back and slightly lifting him off the ground, then coming down hard, slamming the back of his head into the driveway with a sound I can only describe as throwing a watermelon against concrete. I saw the blood begin to pool immediately. He dragged Terry, still hand holding onto his thinning hair, into the grass of his front yard. Sparky went back to the Tesla, flipped it around onto all four wheels. At this point, Job had already ran back to his house. Sparky looked at Terry, who was propping himself up on his elbows, and gave him a thumbs down before walking back to Harold and Bianca's house. The police and ambulance was called. Terry somehow did not press charges, which still don't know why or how to this day. Aside from the broken glass and some dents, the Tesla was actually still functional. Terry does not interact with Harold and Bianca anymore, but still harasses David, Joe, and Rosemary. That is unless Job or Sparky is at their house. Then he rightfully shuts the hell up. Now, I'm not saying that Terry didn't have it coming, rather than I would not want to die at the hands of Sparky. So yeah, after witnessing those events, I have begun to wonder what higher being allowed this. What anomaly broke the laws of nature to punish the neighborhood? Do I need a higher dose of Prozac? Who knows? That'll be all for now, though. My therapist says to keep writing if it helps.
We're now part 4. How you feeling?
Good so far.
Yeah, I like the individual, like, to be like not so much advice, but my criticisms. I really like the journalistic aspect of this.
Mm-hmm.
It really adds to the visceral imagery that they're using. I will say I liked 1 the best so far. 3 is my second favorite so far. 2 is my least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's not the fault of the story or the author. I just think like the situations that they're in are a little bit more punchy and fun.
I think it would be, the thing about it is I think what would be fun for me to see would be like make it a little bit more that journal entry of like today is this day or something, you know what I mean? Like make it kind of...
I kind of like the in passing feel,
but I do too. So it's like, I don't know, like is it just there's a thought of an idea, or is it no, I actually just like it? You know what I mean?
No, I totally get what you mean.
But like if you were to like put them together versus, you know, whether you post them in parts or if you just have one every page or something, I think it would be kind of a cool way if they wanted to put it together to make it kind of that journal entry feel.
I agree.
I don't know. Because either way, it's like, I don't think they have to change anything. I don't think.
Have you ever been attacked by a dog?
Have to. No.
I've been attacked by multiple.
Oh, yeah? Did any of them give you a thumbs up?
No, one grabbed my tit, though.
Yeah, he still has the scar.
It was crazy.
That was so funny.
Reached down to pet the damn dog, and it just fucking clamps onto my tit. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Come on. Come on. Then I was at my buddy's house, and his parents were like, well... Oh, his mom was super sympathetic. His dad comes out, he goes, well... What'd you do?
Like,
yeah, what'd you do? I always think that reaction is just so funny.
And you're like, I was standing here.
Like, I was petting the dog. That's all I wanted to do.
I don't think I've been, like, attacked, but I have had some, like, come, like, right up to me, and then, like, if they growl, I won't touch them.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty good with animals. Like, dogs, to know. We also had the dog that I took on a scooter. He was very particular of people. He only liked us as, like, family members. Outside of family members, that's when we were like, all right, he needs to be rehomed. Because he kept trying to bite others.
Yeah, I think...
So, like, I've had that experience, but I've never had one dog try and bite me.
Yeah, our pit bull, when I was, like, 5 years old, I was laying next to him. And it's so funny, because, like, the story goes, like, I was just sitting... I had not provoked him. I was known to provoke animals. No, I was known to provoke animals. But that time, I laid next to him, and I was coloring. I remember coloring. And I was just bobbing my head back and forth, kicking my legs, like 5-year-olds do. And then he just whips around, just grabs my face I was bleeding all over.
This is why you don't color.
Well, that's why I have a slight fear. Not like I don't have an overwhelming fear, but I have a slight fear of medium size to large breeds.
Except for like ones that we have.
No, even those, I'm still hesitant. Because our old dog, she drew blood.
Okay, but you were wrestling.
Playing.
That was
we
you.
Were playing.
I think it might be not the dog's fault.
No, we were playing on that one. I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying, you forget how these dogs are just wild animals that we decided to take in.
And just rough house with them?
Yeah, they could totally kill us.
You know what's so funny is, I think we're also noticing, even though she's small, our dachshund, she has some teeth on her.
Yeah, Mochi, she can clamp down.
And she went and tried to get your nose.
Yeah, she bit my face the other day.
It was so funny.
Little rat.
She just wanted to give a little, like, mwah.
Yeah, a little nip.
She's just like, mwah. Hey, Dad. Mwah.
All right, moving on to part 4.
So you give our fans kisses, but you won't give our dog?
Nope.
That's so rude.
She hasn't earned them.
I think she has.
No, I have to be a distant father.
So
she grows up to respect me.
I don't think so.
That's how it works. I'm sorry. You're just wrong.
Alrighty, here we go. Part 4, meeting me, Mama and Pee-Pee?
Mama. Mama.
Is it Pippi?
Pee-Pee.
Not Pee-Pee? Is it Pee-Pee
It
or
might be
Pippe?
Pippi. Might be Pippi. Pippi.
Pepe?
Pippi.
Can I say Pee-Pee?
Pippi.
I think it's kind of funny.
Pepe.
Papa.
Pippi.
Alright, here we go.
Good.
As I sit in my front lawn in a cheap lawn chair I bought from Walmart, I type this on my laptop. I'm currently watching Job on the skateboard I got him for his birthday. He is holding on to Sparky's lead as he is pulled in an Olympic-style sprint by Sparky, looping around the neighborhood. I counted 8 laps now. Job is laughing and having fun, but also seems to be holding on for dear life. His head flew off during lap 3 as they turned the corner and fully knocked down the bird feeder the Olsons had put in their front yard. Rip to the mourning dove that was caught in the crossfire. It was just like watching a bowling ball smash through a bowling pin, except Ariel and was living things. Zoe is sitting on the ground next to my chair. She's kind of purring. Sounds more like a cicada in the summer, only slightly lower in pitch. I think that's a good sign. It is nice though. Bianca and Harold are also in lawn chairs on their lawn, though they have fancy ones that can lay flat and don't break if you get up too fast. It's windy out, so Bianca's face keeps inflating and deflating with every rep of the wind gusts. It's very eerie. Harold zip-tied her ankles to one of the chair legs to prevent her from flying away. Oh, to be loved like how those two love each other. Would you tie my legs down?
I would.
Thank you.
Unless you pissed me off and then I'm cutting that thing.
Hold it on with a little, like, thread of the rope. Would you hold on to even a thread of it?
No, I'd let you fly away. If you piss me off, you're gone.
That bad?
Yeah.
Like, how bad would that be? I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back then.
No, you will. You'll fly up to space.
I'm not coming back to you.
Well, that hurts.
You were the one who let me go!
But you pissed me off.
Because of you!
Oh, well. It's alright.
See?
Harold has turned the white chair completely red.
Here, why don't you read a little bit then?
You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since you let me go. I'm flying up in the universe right now.
Harold has turned the white chair completely red like the khakis and Hawaiian shirt he chose to wear. It's forming a weird puddle underneath him, like split Kool-Aid on the grass. Bianca is wearing a sundress, but it's all safety pinned to her legs so that she doesn't flash anybody. Harold
That's
just
nice.
keeps wiping his face with towels. He has a pile of wet towels next to him. I've seen him go through 5 medium-sized towels so far. I will update y'all in a bit. Harold just stood from his chair and is walking towards me.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so a lot happened while I was gone. I was gone for way longer than expected. He came over to both thank me and bring Zoe back inside because they are worried that she will get sunburned. Thank you again for getting Job a skateboard. He loves it. It helps him get outside, get offline more, and bond with Sparky. No friendship is greater than between a boy and his dog, he stated cheerfully as he held Zoe in his arms, who was licking his face. I wanted to throw up because her mouth started becoming stained red and her tongue would get caught on the exposed muscle fibers of his face, causing her to panic and jerk her head away until it pulled away like Velcro against Velcro.
Ew!
It's not a problem at all. If I'm being honest, I didn't really know what to get him. Which I realize is probably something I shouldn't admit, but I just thought about how much he loves Sparky and thought it could be something for them to do together. Don't worry, sometimes we don't know what to get him too. Kids these days don't play like we did. My siblings and I would take paper bags, spray the inside with hairspray or bug spray, and we would huff it. Most times afterward, would collect gravel along the highway to snack on. He said like it wasn't a crazy thing at all. What? Oh yeah. We would usually by then go into the woods, find a random animal and beat it to death so we could have it for dinner later that night, he said while laughing like he was remembering something funny. Where were your parents during all this? I asked jokingly. He opened his mouth to respond, but then froze and thought for a minute. Why don't we ask them? Come on! God, that would suck. That's me.
You're like, fuck!
That's like me at any function I go to. Like, I just automatically sign myself up for something I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I've done that so many times. Like, oh, well, hey, yeah, go to a barbecue. Oh, wow, how many times do you guys have these? Well, you're invited to come. Just make sure to bring the beans every single time. And then I'm stuck bringing beans every single time to a fucking barbecue that I didn't want to go to begin with.
Yeah.
Or birthday parties. Birthday parties are big. Like kids' birthday parties. I don't even know the fucking kid. I'm already going. It's like, hey, my 6-year-old's turning 7. Oh, that's cool, man. Well, wish him a happy birthday. Why don't you do it yourself? It's like, oh, God, please, no.
Hey, at least you didn't go to a 2-year-old's birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. We might introduce him on the show soon.
That'd be so funny. All right, keep going. I'll read in just a second.
Let me see. He said, motioning his hand for me to follow him. I got up slowly from my cheap chair, closed my laptop, and set it on the chair before following him into his home. Bianca was still flailing on and off in the wind, but gave her best attempt to look at me and wave. Hi, Tracy, she greeted with cheer. Hello, Bianca, I replied back. I followed him into the house, and the house looked fairly normal for the most part. He set Zoe onto the ground and started leading me further into the home. I noticed a couple of odd decorations here and there, but nothing that screamed skinless man, skin woman, and skeleton child live here. Well, I guess with one exception, being that all furniture with fabric, like couches, are a deep red color. What I found oddly disturbing in that moment was if the furniture was red to begin with. Same with the rugs they had too. Additionally, they have railings in areas there shouldn't be. The few hallways, the entryway, the dining room, and in the kitchen. I assumed it may be for Bianca since she does have balance difficulties. I would find out this was only partially true. He led me to a door near the kitchen and opened it, revealing a basement. You're not gonna murder me, I snapped at him with concern. What? No, never you, he said with sincerity as he started walking down the steps. I followed him down the steps. Now, I should preface that we live in a neighborhood where every house is built almost the exactly same, with slight differences depending on the amount of rooms and so on. Usually, it is 2 floors and a basement with a front and a backyard and an attached garage to the house. So the layout of the house wasn't unfamiliar to me. What was unfamiliar to me was when Harold flipped on the light switch to reveal the floor was completely uneven dirt instead of what should have been smooth concrete. The basement was completely barren, but the walls seemed as expected there. Wait, what? The basement was completely barren, but the walls seemed as expected, there and painted. I would not have gone with lime green, though. I scanned the environment to see if there was something I was missing. "Mom, Dad, hello," he announced. I just stood there wondering if he lied and was actually about to beat me to death like a random forest animal. Continued silence. "Hold on a minute, they're getting older, so they are also getting hard of hearing," he claimed as he walked more towards the center of the basement and got onto his knees. Was he about to summon the devil? In the blink of an eye, he cocked his arm back before punching and plunging it deep into the soil. He was really looking for something. He finally stopped moving his arm around in the dirt. "Mom, is that you or is it Dad?" he asked. I heard a muffled and faint response.
The
The voice replied. Harold pulled his forearm from the dirt, lifting with him an elderly woman. She looked normal from the angle I was viewing this from. When I walked around Harold to the other side, that's when I saw it. It was only the right side of a human body. It was clear as day, peering into the exposed side, which was caked in dirt, filled with worms among pumping blood seeping out, and her organs clear to see as I saw her eyeballs scan the room. She was only exposed from the neck up, but trust me when I say you could see everything. "Mom, where's Dad?" he asked, his hand still palming her half head.
Half-head.
Half head. He's trying to dig to. Oh, wait.
He's trying to dig to hell again.
Hey, but it's not muffled anymore.
How would you do it?
He's trying to dig to
There you
hell
go.
again. Says he belongs there.
She replied with a heavy indifference.
Well, you can get him. I would, but I don't want to be rude in front of a guest.
Wait. Oh, it was.
Oh, well, can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get him?
It was.
It was-
Harold.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, can you get him? I would, but I don't want to be rude in front of a guest.
All right, dear. Just give me a woman.
I think it... Give me a moment.
Probably.
The half-woman vanished back into the earth, as though she was being vacuumed back into it. As Harold got back to his feet... The half-woman vanished back into the earth, as though she was being vacuumed back into it. As Harold got back to his feet, brushing the moistened dirt off his always blood-soaked arm, we waited for 2 full minutes. Suddenly, a hand poked out of the dirt like it would in a zombie movie. A left hand, then a right hand. Then, pulling out the dirt, a complete human. The left, that of an elderly man, and the right, that of an elderly woman. Each half as though it was split perfectly down the middle of its original form and glued together into this act against God I witnessed now. They were naked and covered in dirt. I will never get the image of an elderly sliced half penis, sliced half vagina out of my head. Ooh. I don't think I like that
Gross.
thought. I think was slightly worse than the man beast and the woman breast. Oh, hold on. I think was slightly worse than the man breast and the woman breast were identical to each other. The only difference being the left side was significantly hairier.
Oh my God, you two! Put on some clothes. I'm sorry, Tracy. I'll get their robe. I'm so sorry.
Harold said with a panicked tone of voice, and then sprinting up the stairs. I averted my gaze with my hand toward the ground as they remained unmoving from where they emerged.
You want to be part of a throuple? Hell yeah.
The man voice asked.
No. Worth a shot.
He stated frankly.
But you dirty dog. Even after 11 children, you're still sniffing other flowers.
They have 11 children? How does that work?
Oh God.
How does that work?
Don't ask him. It's like a Disney movie. We're just not gonna ask why things worked out a certain way.
The woman's voice said with agitation as she used her hand to slap his.
Betty, I haven't stuck my penis in anything other than you, the dirt, and a vending machine in our 45 years of marriage.
He replied. The fact that it's a vending machine too, that's great.
You always have a way with words, dearest.
Harold came running back down the stairs with the robe and helped his parents to put on the robe. Harold led all four of us, up the stairs, and we sat on the dining room table. Harold sitting next to me and his parents across from me. I was no longer averting my gaze. It was so odd. The man had a slightly bigger nose, which made their situation so uncanny. And the same with the lips, and the dad had those same piercing blue eyes as Harold does. We sat in silence. What would you have done in this situation? My brain was still processing the weird nakedness that was burned into my consciousness.
Tracy had some questions about my childhood in regard to you both and how we all worked together.
Harold explained. The woman's side smiled a toothless smile, while the male side maintained a neutrally closed-lipped expression.
Wonderful. What specifically?
The woman asked, her mouth only moving, and the man's side stayed perfectly still.
Mom, remember how us kids used to huff the bug spray, then we'd eat the gravel and bring home dinner?
Harold explained like a childlike excitement.
Oh, yes. Albert and I would be so proud of how hardy you children were. When you have 13 people in the house, money stretches thin. We'd get so creative. I remember one time when the twins would stop playing tug-of-war with one of the rabbit carcasses you other kids brought home. It was so hard to pull it out of the twins' mouths.
Especially when... Wait, is this...
Harold.
Okay. Especially when... Fuck. Oh my god. I'm like tripping balls right now. I got like 7 voices going on in my head right now. Especially when it split open and the guts spewed all over Colleen's face. She wouldn't stop throwing up.
Harold remarked through laughter. Both Harold and Betty were engaged in full belly laughs. Harold occasionally pounding the table with fists likely due to human overload.
Betty, can I add something?
Albert asked, which broke the atmosphere.
Oh, certainly.
Betty replied, coming down from laughter and wiping a tear from her eye.
The kids would help us a lot. I know we ain't like typical families, but the kids would always be together, with the exception of the littlest one who'd be right on Betty's hip.
He explained, Betty having a soft smile on her face, which conveyed appreciation.
Betty and I would be home fixing the house, fixing the yard, paying bills, and feeding the babies. Sometimes the kids felt more responsible than us. I'm grateful we had children who not only looked out for each other, but us during their childhoods.
Albert continued. Betty reached her hand towards Albert's and held his hand. Harold leaned forward and joined his hand above the grasp. It's because we had parents.
Whoa. It's because we had parents who loved us so deeply,
Harold remarked. I could feel the loving silence, their eyes staring into Harold's as I witnessed the same love I saw at the birthday party. Some people say that older generations didn't know how to express love the way we do, which is why so many relationships fail now. I say people like Albert and Betty seem to have led an example of love that is inherent rather than a product of hopeful thinking. We sat in a loving atmosphere, I would say, even with Frankenstein's monster sitting across from me, with that the moment was somehow heartwarming.
That and the impending doom of Pappy.
Albert asked.
Fair.
Harold and Betty said in unison.
Did that answer your question?
Harold asked, now fully back in his seat and hands to himself.
Yes.
I lied. We all stood up from the table and the 3 of them began leading me out.
My god, there's so many characters in this.
Mama, pee-pee!
Job screamed excitedly while running through the door toward his grandparents. I want to emphasize that PP was pronounced PP,
Woo!
not Pippi, despite the spelling. I know it, and now you do too.
Hell yeah.
They gave him a hug. Their voices began overlaying as they pulled away from the hug, maintaining eye contact with Job.
My, how big you've gotten.
What a ladies' man.
You look just like your father.
Now he looks like Bianca.
Oh, he's skinny like Bianca.
Did I reach hell yet? No, not yet, Bert.
It was that cluttered in person as it appears in writing form.
Anyway,
They led me out. They left poor Bianca in the chair, who was attempting to undo the zip tie. I took it off. She thanked me, then went inside. I got to my yard and Sparky was doing the WAP dance on
grab
the
a
front lawn.
bucket and a
I ignored it, and just like I'm doing now with you,
I know.
and went inside my house and locked the door. Now here I am, typing this, somehow being able to eat. I made 3 grilled cheese sandwiches. It's fire. I do have a lingering question. When Betty was pregnant, was Albert also pregnant?
All right.
Now that was a great question to ask.
See, I loved part 4.
That was really good. I like that
All
one.
right. Part 5. Part 5.
Part 5.
My neighbors are still traumatizing me. Part 5.
The annual barbecue.
The annual barbecue. If I read it, should I read it like those old YouTubers?
Do you want to take a time to read
Okay.
a full stories?
Oh, I wouldn't read a full one.
You want to at least read some?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
The day of the annual barbecue, hosted
All
by the
right.
lovely family of Harold, Bianca, Job, and his
Wait.
pets.
Harold, don't we have a Harold Sleeper?
Yes.
Harold Sleeper.
Some of the most unique and vomit-inducing foods you've ever seen. Everyone goes for the social aspect in games. It is actually great fun. It's also one of the few times we see extended family on both sides. Some of Harold's siblings and Bianca's twin sister, Beverly.
Can you stop reading it like that?
I have to. I've locked in now.
No.
I knew their siblings,
This is when everybody's gonna
but I have
click off of the episode.
All right, good.
No, go.
No, I don't want to.
Read normal.
No, it's good. Good. Okay. I knew their siblings. I have met them in the past. Never Mama and PP, though prior to whatever you can call that event, I just assumed they lived somewhere besides the basement of the house. I brought the same thing I always did, a store-bought array of cookies for about 30 people. I began my long journey of 30 to 40 steps once again to their backyard. I saw that long table once again, only this time no chairs, and I could see Harold trying to start the grill.
Tracy!
Job shouted excitedly as he ran up to me, giving me a hug. Sparky following from a couple feet behind. I gave him a partial hug as I tried balancing the tray with one hand. Job let go and backed up.
Hey, Sparks, can you bring those cookies to the table? I want to talk to Tracy and tell her about all the cool adventures I've been having.
Yes, Sparky. Sparky grabbed the tray from my hands and began walking towards the table with it. Job began pulling on my now free hand towards the near center of the backyard.
Oh, Tracy, you'll never believe all the cool stuff I've done,
he said as he sat down in the grass crisscross. I followed suit. What have you done that's so cool, Job?
Rose and I went to the zoo. Her dad took us. I got to feed a giraffe. It looked so tasty but cute. Then we got face painting done by this woman who smelled like cigarettes.
What else happened, buddy?
We left the zoo and then we came back home. My mom and dad tried to convince me that they thought I was a real tiger. I'm not a little kid anymore. I know they knew it was me.
Whoa, you got your face painted like a tiger?
Yeah, tigers are so awesome. I wish Zoe was a tiger. Then we could play jungle or something. Instead, all she wants to do is dig in the basement.
Did anything else happen, buddy? I asked, ignoring the basement part. His body language shifted and general energy changed. He grabbed a nearby stick and started poking the ground, his hand cupping his face as he leaned into it.
In my dreams, I saw through the eyes of a murderer.
That's a
That's
switch
a
up,
sentence.
he said in a slightly annoyed but mostly bored voice. Huh? What do you mean, Job?
Pappy says I have special eyes, one that are meant to see chaos. Pappy says pure chaos is perfect order, as perfection is not natural. Disorder, but is disorder is, but not chaos. So I see things that I don't think I'm supposed to see.
He said solemnly.
That's normal.
I sat stunned.
I was looking through the eyes of a man, an evil man. He was chasing some lady in the woods. She had orange hair and her red lipstick was smeared so much that it was coming out of her nose. She must have slipped while putting it on.
He lowered his head to the ground. He lowered his head parallel to the ground.
She was screaming so loud. The man caught her. He put a rope around her neck and pulled and pulled and pulled. Then she sounded like Zoe throwing up then. Then she was silent.
Job, have you told your parents about this? He suddenly sprang up into perfect sitting posture and became cheery again.
Oh yeah, Mom and Dad says it's normal for boys in our family. Dad says the next time I'm in his body to try to find something called disabling features.
I think you mean distinguishing.
Yeah, that word.
A minute of awkward silence fell between us.
I'm gonna go pick cars now. Bye, Tracy.
He got up and ran toward the glass sliding door, opening it, entering it, and throwing it shut behind him. I say once again, huh? Bianca emerges from the sliding glass door with the bag slung around her body. The bag is bloody and looks heavy, causing her to slightly slump forward toward the left side of her body. I quickly get up, lightly jog toward her, following her to the grill. Hey, Bianca! She turns her head as best she can and lets out the closest thing to a smile she can produce. Hi, Tracy! I saw you talking with Job. He just simply thinks you're the coolest. We are so blessed with nice neighbors. Ah, thank you, Bianca, but I'm worried about Job, I say as I walk alongside her to the grill. Is something wrong? She asked with deep concern. Job told me about his dream. She let out a sigh of relief and then a laugh. Oh my, you scared me. I thought Job was being hurt. I overstepped my bounds. Bianca, he even said himself he doesn't think he's supposed to be seeing that, I said sternly. I could see Harold spring up in a straight posture and begin doing a cut-it-out motion with his hand toward his neck and my peripheral. Bianca made an angered expression and began straightening her posture. It was almost as though she were growing. She lunged only inches away from my face. I could see into the dark void of her barren eye sockets. Even though she had no eyes, I knew I was looking at her soul. She seemed gigantic, but it was just that she wasn't scrunched up anymore. She had taken control of her body. It was taut rather than limp. Are you saying that I'm letting Job be hurt? She said firmly. That sing-songy voice was gone. It was now cold and piercing. I honestly could have shit my pants. Never did I think I would be scared of a human husk. But let my true feelings out in that moment. I took a breath. No, Bianca, you are one of the most loving mothers I have ever seen. I'm just scared Job doesn't know how to feel about what he's seeing. It could be really daunting and mind-boggling to go through that, I said with true concern. She continued to stare at me for a solid minute. Silence. Her face then turned into a frown, and she seemingly deflated back to her normal, limpish form. I'm sorry, dear. I've been stressed. No, you're right. I mean, these dreams are just normal for me and Harold now. I still remember my first dream vividly. Oh, I couldn't imagine my boy going through that horror for the first time. She began to sniffle. Bianca, I'm no parent. I'm sorry, too. I just know how much he means to you and Harold. I think he's an awesome kid, too. I'm just saying maybe therapy or something therapeutic can make him process it better. She looked at me now with an almost soft smile, wiping tears from her eyes. Oh, all is well. I think that'd be a great idea. I'll have Harold look up some therapists on the web later. She leapt back at me, giving me a hug. I hugged her back. She whispered thank you into my ear. She pulled away from the hug and took a deep breath. Gosh, this barbecue makes me more emotional than when I was pregnant, if you can believe that. Anyway, she said, clearing her throat at the end. She reached into the bloody bag and pulled out a huge slab of meat about the size of a piece of printer paper. It plopped onto the now lit grill with a sizzling noise. Have you ever had zebra steaks before? She said, returning to that sing-song voice. tone of voice with a smile only she could have. I couldn't help but crack a smile and laugh. I felt so much emotional whiplash, my brain just malfunctioned and leaned into her well-intended olive branch in the form of zebra steaks. I saw Harold put his hand to his chest and let out a sigh of relief. I helped set up games as more people trickled in. David, Joe, Rosemary, the Olsons, not Terry, and a lot of other neighbors. Eventually, Harold's siblings showed up. I would recognize twins anywhere. Harold has 2 younger brothers who are twins named Jim and Tim. Real names Jimothy and Tames, respectively. I'm not even joking. They showed me their driver's license to prove that. Have you ever seen what a Neanderthal looks like in those museums? Imagine that, but at 4'1", with severe underbites, chimp teeth, and porcelain skin, and eyes way too blue. Despite their appearance, they are actually super chill. Their fashion is an issue, though. They dress like frat brothers. The twins scurried over and tackled Harry to the ground as all 3 of them shouted in unison, "Brother!" Then the oldest sibling, Colleen, she looks completely normal. She looks like a regular human. She's actually quite pretty with her blue eyes, tan skin, and wavy hair. I guess only things that are maybe odd is that she has the worst case of RBF I've ever seen, and that she's relatively muscular. But I also have pretty bad RBF too, and I shouldn't judge someone with guns like her. Hi, Colleen. Oh wait. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Tracy. How are you? Good. And yourself? I'm doing good. Glad to hear it. Sorry to leave so soon, but I got to go get Jim and Tim off Harold before they try to gouge his eyes out again. Good seeing you. We'll chat later, she said as she sprinted towards Harold, who was now screaming in pain, his brothers slamming their fists all over his body. Oh my gosh, get them off! Uncle! Uncle! Harold screamed as he became somehow bloodier than ever. I could see Colleen pull a mini fire extinguisher out of her purse and start spraying. Jim and Tim. Back, you heathens! She screamed. Jim and Tim let out ape-like shrills before scurrying to the front yard with Colleen hot in pursuit. Then Beverly showed up. You'll never guess. She looks almost exactly like Bianca. The only difference being that Beverly has a pixie cut and a style more akin to my own. She showed up in Crocs and socks, basketball shorts, and a white t-shirt with the black text reading, "I shitted" across it.
Solid.
Alright, sick. Bianca and Beverly greeted each other with a hug. Bev, why couldn't you wear the clothes I sent you? She said in a joking tone. Because this shirt fucks. The rest of the night went normal, or at least as normal as it possibly could go. The food, edible. Zebra steaks with buttered peas and Sprite Jello as dessert. Not horrific. The games were fun. Watching the twins beat the crap out of Sparky was great. Jim gave Sparky the people's elbow from the top of the fence, and Tim gave him the chair. Colleen, Beverly, and I had great conversation around the bonfire later on about life. David and Joe were having fun, and I got to see them dance to music played on the Bluetooth speaker, and the stars. Oh my goodness, the stars that night were like thousands of pieces of hope shining into your very being. Bianca got very drunk, threw up, and kept apologizing to me. Beverly had to put her to bed early by helping her to the bedroom. Harold was drinking straight olive oil. So was Colleen, but I guess something has to be weird about her. Everyone went home with smiles on their faces. Maybe I wasn't as traumatized this time. Maybe there is hope. Well, I guess it's scary to know that Bianca is only becoming a greater mystery. How did she get bigger? How could she suddenly control herself so well? Most of all, what did she mean by they all have dreams like Job's? Part 6.
Part 6.
Part 6.
Part
My neighbors are still traumatizing me. Part 6. When Harold met Bianca.
Bianca.
Are you gonna give her a go?
Yeah.
Swing!
Bianca invited me over today. I had just unpacked from my trip when she knocked on my door. I opened it to see her. She seemed not like herself. Something was off. Her tone made me think nervous, but her body language was that of a general impatience. She kept gnawing on her nails despite the lack of teeth. They were bleeding somehow. Maybe just the repetitions from her mouth or the force. Nothing makes sense these days. I went over. It was just the two of us. Well, except for the pets and the grandparents in the basement. We sat on the couch. It made a wet, squishing noise, which confirmed my suspicion of what it was. Blood, if you didn't catch on. We sat there. She fiddled with her hands. I noticed some DVDs with different labels on the coffee table. As sad as it is to say, I hadn't seen them in a while. I missed physical media.
I guess you are wondering why I brought you over here?
She said with slight nervousness in her voice.
Yeah, you seem bothered by something. Well, you've probably noticed that our Harold and mine family aren't like other families.
No, I have never realized that. I didn't say that, but I only thought it.
Well, everyone's a bit odd if you think about it.
I respond, trying to polite.
I thought about what you said at the barbecue. Aside from my ungodly behavior, there are some other things about our family that are equally ungodly. Oh no, I overstepped. Tracy, you've been our neighbor for a few years now. You deserve some honesty from us, especially considering your kindness.
She stood up, picked up a DVD labeled Wedding Day, held it longingly in her hands as she walked to the side of the TV and stopped.
I didn't always look like this,
she said solemnly as she put in the DVD. I was concerned about what I was about to see.
I learned at university, though, science courses like biology, chemistry, and physics, that apparently, assuming I'm even remembering it right, the most chaotic formation imaginable is one that is perfectly symmetrical.
She remarked as she returned to the couch with the remote.
Why are you telling me this? It feels like you're speaking in some form of a riddle.
I responded. The TV came on before I knew it. There she was, Bianca. Beautiful human with brown eyes and a smile that could have melted butter. Bianca has always been pretty despite her form, but in her wedding dress... Bianca had always been pretty despite her form, but in her wedding dress all dolled up, she was like a princess. Harold, looking the same as he does now, at most maybe a little less bloody, but the same for the most part. The wedding video went on as expected. About 45 minutes of vows, the kiss, the beginning of the wedding reception. The video cut to Bianca and Beverly standing in front of the table. I soon saw a familiar figure, or should I say, eyeball. The Ancient One. I recognized Colleen, Jim, Tim, and what I assumed were the rest of Harold's siblings based on the abominations present I won't describe, and couldn't begin to describe if I even tried.
Why is Beverly there?
I asked.
The perfect storm of chaos is perfect symmetry.
She said blankly. My stomach dropped.
Harold and I met at a ping pong tournament. One of the shared and now less frequent passions. Little did I comprehend that day that...
She took a breath.
that it would change.
My eyes were locked on a TV screen now. I could feel my heartbeat in my chest. Harold stood behind Bianca in the video.
Pappy, please bless my bride to become a part of my family. She is one of us now. As per your wishes, do the same unto her twin as they are of the same body.
Harold announced firmly as he bowed his head. I noticed Bianca and Beverly were bowing their heads as well. I noticed everyone else in the background, though, was kneeling. The Ancient One began to vibrate as he began to vibrate more frequently. Or violently, sorry. The Ancient One began to vibrate as he began to vibrate more violently. Something familiar, that distorted French he spoke in my dream. In the video, Bianca's nose started to bleed, then Beverly's. Soon blood came cascading out of their mouth that slowly turned to a meat paste slopping out of every orifice. And unfortunately, I do mean every orifice. They were melting to the ground as They shrieked a terrible noise that sounded like a high-pitched tea kettle. Eventually, they both flattened to the ground in pools of blood and mashed flesh. They arose as skin husks, empty, light, and cold. The Ancient One stopped vibrating the moment of silence came over the group. The Ancient One crumbled onto the table as if he was made of chalk. A cheer rang out. Everyone stood up and cheering, as they rushed toward the couple, who were now hugging and kissing. The screen cut to black, and I could see my horrified expression in the reflection.
Genetically identical, they argued.
Bianca said. I sat stunned as the words flew through me instead of absorbed by me.
That's why Bev looks the same as me, perfectly symmetrical.
She said as she got off the couch to replace the CD with another that said pregnancy she had in her hand. I snapped back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Hey guys, you gotta wrap it. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Oh, I just barely got it.
There's vomit on his t-shirt already. Mom's spaghetti.
We don't need to get copyrighted.
Okay. Why are you telling me this now? Why this feels so random, so out of place?
I asked frantically.
Exactly.
She said coldly as she snapped her head back and looked at me. I was startled by this reaction.
Sorry, Trace. I know I'm not acting like myself. I know this all seems strange, but my life, from the moment I got married, has been nothing but unpredictability and madness. No day ever the same, no moment ever repeating, even close to like before, yet...
She explained.
Yeah?
I inquired. She let out her almost smile at me and said in the soft sing-song voice,
I wouldn't change a thing. Not a single nightmare. Not every pain, not the body you see before you. I would do it again, always. Love makes you do the craziest things. I think I just need someone to see to get this strange cloud over my head gone.
She then switched out the DVDs, returning to the couch and started the DVD with the remote. The first shot was something I had seen before, that I'm glad in retrospect I'd seen before. Harold wearing Bianca. One detail was different though. There was a pregnancy bump. Harold was holding the camcorder into a mirror, revealing the duo combined and the protruding baby bump that caused stretch marks on Bianca's skin, blood oozing out of the areas where Bianca's skin revealed Harold's eyes and mouth. The video continued on, cutting to clips of them at the beach, at the museum, and at family gatherings. They spoke to each other sweetly, talking about baby names in the video and how much they loved each other. A shocking amount of clips were pregnant, them playing ping pong. In each clip, the bump got bigger and bigger.
Oh, I loved being pregnant. It felt like a second honeymoon for me and Harold.
She said in the same sing-songy Disney princess voice. It was though she suddenly remembered... It was though she suddenly returned to her normal demeanor. Was this a curse affecting her personality today? Was she emotionally unstable? Am I crazy? The voice suddenly ended. Nope, the video suddenly ended. I could hear Bianca sniffling. I looked over to her.
What's wrong, Bianca?
I said. She blew her floppy nose into a tissue.
I was scared I would never get to show these clips to anyone else. I can't show them to my sister. It's too hard. I wanted someone to know these moments existed, that Harold and I existed. I don't know if I could ever show these to Joe. He'd be horrified.
She bawled. I moved closer to Bianca, pulling my hand on her. Putting my hand on her back.
I could understand why you aren't being yourself. I mean, I was adopted, which I know is something weird to say right now. Maybe... But I never got to know what my birth mother went through. I never got her name.
I replied somberly. Bianca was now looking at me. I could see it in my peripheral as I looked at my reflection in the black TV screen.
I couldn't imagine having to never really live in the same moment, never being able to show these tapes to anyone else, ever. Oh wait, this is... fuck. I couldn't imagine having to never really live the same moment. Never being able to show these tapes to anyone else, ever.
I took a breath, slouched on the couch, and looked up to the ceiling.
I never got to know my birth mom, but I like to think she would show me a video like this of her with me. Is there any way Job can see these after this?
I asked now, looking at Bianca.
Technically, yes, but I would have to ask for permission from Pappy.
She responded now, calm, but still quite somber. As crazy as it sounds, I could understand the emotional roller coaster. I mean, you have these DVDs, you can practically only show unless you get the eyeball's blessing, the same eyeball that melted you and your sister's insides on your wedding day, leaving you as skin husks. Then to have a baby, your husband has to wear you like a onesie for God knows how long, by this family's time standards. Yeah, I would be emotionally fragile and unstable too.
This next video, though, I don't want any other person to see. Ever.
She said with a disdain in her voice. She looked me in the eyes.
I'm sorry it had to be you, but if Job or anyone else in this neighborhood saw this, they wouldn't be as forgiving or as kind as you would be.
I felt a lump in my throat as I saw the DVD labeled the thing I dreaded most once I processed what it said.
Delivery.
I should have jumped through the window like a cartoon character, or a stuntman, or ran like Forrest Gump. I was in so much shock, though, from the previous images, that I did the one thing I did in most of these situations. Freeze. She returned to the couch and used the remote to start the DVD. It was them, Bianca being warned by Harold. They were hunched over It was them, Bianca being warned by Harold. They were hunched over in this very living room. The curtains were drawn. Harold began coughing. It gradually became more violent as they paced in circles, remaining hunched. Eventually, clear liquid violently shot out from the mouth and eye holes of Bianca. Harold violently blinking, yet continued to cough. They stopped. Harold outstretched his arms as fast as he could over Bianca's tight skin on him, placed one hand over the other. That was a balled fist like you would when you're given the Heimlich maneuver. That's what he did. His hands thrashed into the baby's bump repeatedly. Harold continued his violent cough through the demented Heimlich maneuver I was witnessing. I could hear Bianca grunting. The bump started moving up from a lower abdomen to the chest to the throat, before finally Harold threw up an array of blood and small bones. Job's bones. Harold stood fully up. Bianca slid off Harold's body like an unzipped dress. Harold fell to his hands and knees. He was panting loudly, trying to catch his breath. The screen then cut to black. Staring at my face in the reflection of the TV. Reflection was again. That's a lot of reflections.
Yeah, it's alright.
I immediately threw up onto the floor and began hyperventilating.
What the actual fuck?
I said through hyperventilating breaths. I continued to dry heave. I heard Bianca let out a sigh of relief.
Thank God. Thank the Lord I no longer have to keep this DVD. I can finally destroy it,
she said cheerfully, yet sounding as though she had just run a marathon. I just looked over her with a disgusted face. She picked it up and skidded closer to me.
I don't think you understand the burden you just lifted off of me. Job will never have to see this now,
she said happily. I wanted to sock her square in the face, but then I thought of Job, the sweet little boy who always shoveled my driveway in the winter and brought his mom's flowers. The boy who treated me like a role model, even though he shouldn't. I think Bianca did this on purpose. She knows I care for Job. In fact, I know that was exactly her plan. Somehow, despite it being justified, I'm not angry. Still horribly traumatized, though. As sick as it sounds, I would have done the same in her shoes. Any parent wouldn't want to protect their child, even if it meant scarring your neighbor for life. She walked over to the TV, removed the DVD from the DVD player, and ate the DVD. She walked over to me and knelt to my kneeled over level on the couch. She put her hand on my shoulder.
I know you will never forgive me. I don't know if I will be able to. Thank you for letting me protect my boy,
she said with sincerity. I nodded. As messed up as it sounds, I know I would kind of forgive her at some point. Only the intention part, not the visual part. I wouldn't wish this on Job. He would probably feel 100 times more horrified than me, especially seeing his mom on his wedding day or his birth. Bianca walked me back home. Zoe was pooping in my garden. Bianca gave me one big hug on the doorway and whispered,
"Thank you,"
in my ear before walking back home with Zoe following behind.
Just keep going.
She okay?
Yeah, she's alright.
Now I'm laying in my bed, eating out of a tub of ice cream with Bluey playing on my TV. You okay?
She's in shock.
Jeez. Take this out, please. I already booked a therapy appointment for every possible day for the next 3 months. I have a lot of answers now, but even then, I still don't know about the dreams, and honestly, I don't really want to know now. Part 7.
My neighbors are still traumatizing me. Part 7. Reflection.
Reflection. I haven't talked to any of my neighbors, really. I'll be honest, I've been a recluse. I can't get that visual of Job's birth out of my head, and the coughing. It's like an earworm. Did Bianca curse me or something? I hear Zoe scratching at my door, but aside from that, no one has come to check on me.
All right, I'm gonna throw a Hail Mary out right now. This is me thinking I'm right. I'm spitballing. I think our narrator has something to do with Beverly or Bianca being a birth child of one of them.
Oh.
You see what I'm going for?
And now she's finding out,
She's slowly, everything's coming together.
and she's just been piecing it all together.
Yeah, because what if it wasn't Job's body? I really hope this comes to fruition. Because otherwise,
Wait, what if it wasn't Job's body?
Yeah, what if it was hers? She developed her skin, didn't remember her parents or something like that.
And they just gave her up?
Yeah, to let her live a normal life.
But now that she's...
Because she's single, so she hasn't had a wedding. So her mom before, or I guess not her mom yet, but Bianca before she was married was perfectly normal. See what I'm going for?
And now...
I really hope this is true, because that will be the coolest
That
reveal.
would be really cool, actually.
But I'm Hail Marrying it. This is my guess.
I think that'd be such a cool thing. You know what's so funny is I actually was like, when she was like, yeah, I'm adopted, I was like, oh, she's going to be their kid.
Yeah.
Because she's been getting headaches and stuff. But I didn't even think about the possibility of her birthing.
Yeah.
That was actually her birth.
Yeah.
That would be actually such a cool thing.
I'm hoping.
Because that's why the mom is that's why Bianca's so relieved that she doesn't have to keep that secret anymore.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't about Job.
Yeah, it wasn't Job. It was her.
It was her.
It didn't say Job's pregnancy. It didn't say...
It just said pregnancy.
Yeah.
Or delivery.
Yep.
That would be so cool.
I'm hoping. I'm keeping
If not, I don't know where it would go if it wasn't like that.
Yeah, if it... Oh, man. All right, my fingers and toes are...
I actually think that would make this story for me.
That I would... This would be an automatic...
Oh, I would love that. That would be so cool.
Okay, go ahead.
I think Bianca knows I want to be left alone. I have no clue if Harold knows, but I sure hope Job doesn't know that his mom scarred me for life. I wouldn't say we aren't friends anymore, but I will say it takes a lot to rebuild our friendships. I get why she did it, but it still felt oddly cruel and extremely out of character for her. But do I really know her character? I learned she was a beautiful woman. Now just a husk. It makes me think of my own family. Well, adopted anyways. I didn't know my birth mom, really. Ooh.
Yeah.
They don't even know who impregnated her.
No.
All I know is that she had me when she was 16 and she died at 29 due to an accidental overdose. I'd seen pictures of her. We look the same. It's so uncanny sometimes. It's like looking at my own reflection in some of those photos. Oh.
Yeah.
Dang it. My adopted parents aren't bad people. We just didn't click, unfortunately. I'd forever be grateful of them, of course. They took me in, fed me, clothed me, and helped me with college. They are nice, and they still are in my life, but I wouldn't say we are nowhere near close. I see them maybe twice a year and exchange Christmas cards, but that's it. No daily calls, no texts. Heck, no emails either. More akin to guardians than parents. It's only my experience, though. I can't speak for everyone or say I'm the spokesperson for adopted people. I do wonder who my birth dad is and what he's like. His hobbies, his job, if he had any kids, stuff like that. I can't help but feel empty inside, that I've missed something so special. That bond like Harold, Bianca, and Job. The love between David, Joe, and Rosemary, a feeling of family. They make me feel included, which is maybe the closest I'd ever feel to having a familiar bond. My adopted parents weren't exactly normal either. Nowhere normal. Oh wait, nowhere near Bianca, Harold, and Job have going on, but weird on the general level. My adopted mom, Kelly, didn't believe in doctors, so none of us went in for checkups or vaccinations unless it was mandated by school or jobs.
Okay, hold on. Not going to a doctor. Hey, keep it down back there. What are you doing? But they don't go to doctors. The mom, I'm hoping. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, the other option would be, what if she died?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
It's a misnomer.
Yeah.
It's meant to throw us off.
If it is like that,
I'm really hoping. Go ahead.
Okay. She didn't exactly love that I'm in healthcare now. Maybe a subconscious get back at her? Who knows? She was one of the essential oil and body scan people who only hint of almond mom, but overall very into my internal alternative health. Oh my gosh, that was so hard. My adoptive dad, Francis, is just some guy. As mean as that sounds, it's nothing that makes him stand out as a person. He just looks like a guy you'd pass while walking down the street, or someone you'd see sitting in a booth of a restaurant while you are being seated by the waitstaff. I will say, Kelly definitely ran the house. It was always her rules and her way. Francis would never argue. He would just look exhausted and say,
"Yes, honey."
Or,
"Sure, babe."
Follow her blindly. Kelly and I got into a lot of fights when I went through puberty. It was only made worse when she informed me that my birth mom was some druggie who died. Oh wait, who was?
Some druggie who died for doping up too much.
A couple days after I turned 13 years old. That was the worst fight.
Oh, hold on. So she's taken the adoptive mom's word for it.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
No, but she said she's seen pictures and she looks just like her.
Yeah. All right.
But what okay, this is my other diagnosis.
Okay.
What if it's her sister? Because they didn't look identical.
That's what
Bianca.
I said.
No, you said Bianca.
No, Beverly.
So you think it's Beverly's kid?
I think it's Beverly's kid.
That's what I'm thinking, because Bianca and Beverly
And they
did not look the same until...
And she noted same fashion choices.
Correct.
Little red herrings.
Oh,
every now and again. But I could be totally wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to be very sad.
I know, me too, because I think that would be like such a cool ending. That was the worst fight we ever had, and weirdly the cruelest thing she had ever been to me then and since. Once again, I want it to be known I don't speak for all adopted children or parents who are adopted, but a part of me felt sorry for Kelly. Maybe she was grieving for me, since even though I was sad and angry, I didn't cry when I got the news of my birth mom's death. How could I cry for someone that's never been in my life? Didn't help that the strangest dreams started then. I've always had strange dreams, but I noticed them getting a little bit stranger since taking the Prozac. The other night, I dreamt of my mom. She was crawling around a large conch shell of the beach. She was wearing wet pajamas with sheep on them. She was beckoning me to come into the conch shell with her finger. I got inside her and crawled into the shell with her. I got beside her, and crawled into the shell with her. It was then we were in space among the cosmos, stars being our only light, Butterflies the size of whales flew past us in shades of blues, teals, oranges, and purples. In that moment, I felt like I knew her. Seemed as though we were so close, closer than we ever would be. She couldn't stop smiling. I couldn't stop smiling. We stopped. The only blackness turned siren red. The stars drowned out by color. She began convulsing and screaming. I turned to help, but I was moving in slow motion. My mom's sternum poked through her chest and opened toward me like a drawbridge, ripping open her pajama top, exposing her open chest cavity. Her ribs flayed out the open jaws of a Venus flytrap. Inside her chest cavity was a shoebox. It looked like a Nike shoebox, oddly enough. I opened it. It was the ancient one, staring at me, resting in a nest of twigs and cigarette butts. He only said one thing in a strange voice this time.
Magnifique.
I was awoken by Zoe, clawing at my exposed belly with her little gremlin toes. Yeah, I sleep naked. Is that the main thing you were going to judge me on right now? Also, in my defense, I don't know how she got in the house that night.
Zoe, what the heck?
I said tiredly, rubbing my eyes. She clawed at my stomach pretty good, too. She actually got some cuts on me. I was bleeding quite a bit. She gave me one good slice in particular. I'm not an injury-prone person, so much so that I don't even have Band-Aids in my house despite working in healthcare. So I just went to the bathroom and grabbed some toilet paper to press against my cuts. That's when it happened. My finger slipped an inch deep into the largest cut.
What the fuck?
I said to myself out loud. I looked at my body, my reflection to confirm, and yet I pulled out my finger to reveal an entire tip of my middle finger had been dyed red by the wound. I initially chalked it up to maybe still being in a dream. Zoe was in my house, even though that should have been impossible, and this didn't make sense either. I did something I now regret. I returned to my nightstand to grab my flashlight, walked back to the bathroom, opened the wound, lifted the wound open as much as I could, shined the light in. No organs. No fascia. No muscles. Only near gelatinous blood swirling in my abdomen. Like a monochrome lava lamp. I slammed my hand on the wound, closing it shut, and screamed a scream so visceral that I could feel my voice crack and strain under the voice. I can't even say larynx because I'm not sure if I have one even. Since the night, the wound had healed within hours. Not even a scar. Haven't left the house in days. I'm using up my vacation time to stay at home. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I know I've never been scanned by an x-ray machine, but how did doctors not know when they palpitated my stomach? Of course, it wouldn't be irrationally of them to assume I had organs. Most people do, and I thought I did so, too. Kelly and Francis know? Is that why Kelly never took me to the doctor unless absolutely necessary? Is that why I never got sick as a child? Whatever the hell is wrong with me, I'll know tomorrow for sure.
Boom, part 7. Okay. We're seeing the symptoms.
Oh, I love it.
So part 8.
I am locked in.
This is probably one of the funnest stories.
This is such a cool thing. I like this.
And it's so interesting because it's like, it's so well paced. Like, this is something I just love about Mackaroll stories, is how well paced they are, because it just feels so natural. Like, the timelines aren't all funky and just jumbled. It's straight shot, and it's so nice. All right, go ahead.
It Takes a Village, part 8. I haven't been to the doctor's office in a long time. It's weird. It's so sterile and boring. For most people, it's probably normal. But like I mentioned, I was only ever brought in if it was absolutely necessary. I would say I've been to the doctor's office less than 15 times to my memory. I was never a sickly child. I mean, I threw up here and there, and maybe diarrhea or tummy ache, but I never got the cold, flu, or anything similar, even as an adult. I just assumed that I was an unusually strong immune system or something. I mean, I wasn't complaining when I would see my snotty and coughing classmates or coworkers through the years. I'd gotten x-rays and a blood draw. I pulled some strings with my job to get them done in advance, without having to be face-to-face with a doctor until the results were in. Perks of being in healthcare, I guess. The doctor knocked and came into the room.
Tracy?
the doctor said.
Dr. Lore? It's nice to meet you. I've heard so many good things about you. Please just call me Chance. My father was Dr. Lore.
Nepo baby, I guess. He sat down with a manila folder and opened it to show me the x-ray. I was stunned. The bones appeared cloudy in the images. I didn't even know what that was something that could happen in x-rays, as stupid as it makes me sound.
You seem to have a strange blood condition.
He said as he began to log into the computer in front of me.
Blood condition? Well, usually we see this type of thickness with certain forms of blood cancer, but even this goes beyond logic.
He responded as his eyes were locked onto the computer. I looked down at my hands in my lap.
Beyond logic? I'm sorry, I'm only an OTA. I don't really know the specifics of all this. Your blood is gelatinous. I think like Jell-O. It can be liquidy, but mostly it's a slightly softer solid. It seems to be blocking out any images we can get of your organs or bones. It is practically hiding your organs.
He said in a casual tone.
No human could live without organs, though. That would be insane.
He laughed.
Ah.
I fake laughed with him, feeling beads of sweat form on my forehead.
Yeah. Wait, what do you say? What do you tell my neighbors? Dog.
Yeah, what do you say that?
You're fucking wrong, dude. You're not a professional. It's probably just that your blood is so thick it's messing with the imaging. So it's also interesting how incredibly low your blood pressure is. Do you eat much sodium?
He asked, now making eye contact with me. I thought of the many cheesy products in my fridge and freezer.
No.
I lied.
Well, that would make sense with these results then.
He remarked, now turning his attention back to his computer screen.
Not many recorded visits in your chart. My adoptive mom is not big into doctors. Believes in alternative medicine. Adoptive?
He remarked, his body now tense.
Yeah, my birth mom got knocked up when she was a teen, didn't have the resources to take care of me, so she gave me up to my adoptive parents.
I explained. He froze, then put his hand on his chin like he was thinking.
Screw it. It's technically not a HIPAA violation if they are dead.
He said as he moved closer to me in the office chair.
My father told me of a case of a woman around your age who also had unusually thick blood. The only difference being my dad said her heart was visible. Clear as day.
I felt something drop in my body. Now it's clear now. I have no fucking stomach to drop.
She died a couple months later from abusing painkillers. She used them to manage her condition, apparently because she reported the pain getting worse over the years. She did report having gestational hypertension, but there was no record of a child. My dad assumed miscarriage from the drug abuse and sent her on her way, eventually after some tests.
I stopped to think, could this be my mom? Why was she in so much pain? Did I cause her pain? The only one question came out of my mouth.
Is there any way you can pull up a record?
I asked, slightly stumbling over my words.
They aren't going to fire me, probably because of my dad, so yeah, I'll try to look her up. Do you have her name?
He said, scooting back over to the computer and typing on the keyboard. Ignoring the possible legal implications and otherwise unspecific corruption aside, I responded.
Elizabeth, but apparently her nickname was Lee based off the information written on her photographs. My adoptive mom did everything in her power to make me know as little about my birth mom as possible. She would even scribble out her last name on any document or photo that I had her full name.
I explained. To this day, I still don't know why Kelly was so insistent on me knowing so little about my birth mom in general, down to her last name. Hell, I don't even know her exact birthday. I only know my birth mom was born in October. Chance kept clicking and typing until he perked up, clapping his hands together, and then began reading the information.
Lee Goulet, born 10/9/86, was declared dead in her apartment from an accidental drug overdose, as evidenced by consistent history of...
He went on and on because it became background noise to the one thing that rang out in my head. Goulet. Harold Goulet. Bianco Delgado Goulet. Job Delgado Goulet. Fuck. Was there a chance No fucking way. I mean, he does have 11 siblings, but wouldn't I have recognized her in the wedding video? Wouldn't I have known my own mom's face? Maybe it wasn't her original face. What if Kelly fabricated them? It's my whole life a fucking lie? It was then I heard Chance make a pained groan, sounding the sound that snapped me out of my trance. He was grabbing his head. I stood up reflexively and backed away.
Chance, are you okay?
I asked in a concerned tone of voice. He grabbed his head and buried his head in his lap, letting out a scream that was muffled before sitting up completely straight. His brown eyes now milky white with hints of blue. The ancient one. He stood up, opened the door, and pushed me out into the hallway.
I will take care of this. Have a nice day.
You didn't do it right.
Yeah. I will take care of this. Have a nice day.
He said, now speaking in a French accent before slamming the door in my face. I ran out of the hospital into the parking lot and towards my car faster than I had in my entire life. I flung the door open, scrambling inside to start it, and drove off, going the speed limit because I don't want to get a ticket. She still has morals. I drove with the rage bubbling inside me. I kept thinking about a line Bianca said over and over as I got closer to home. The perfect form of chaos is perfect symmetry. No wonder I look like a copy-paste version of my mom. Felt like forever, but I parked my driveway, barely turning off my car before flying out of my driver's seat, barely closing the door. I made a straight line toward the Goulet's front door. Sparky was in my way. Pushed his ass to the side of me onto the ground. At that point, I didn't care if he would kill me after. I needed to confront that crusty ass eyeball. Banged my fist on the door. Zoe rubbed up against my leg, which did little to calm me down. The door was opened by Bianca, who made as close as she could to do it. The door was opened by Bianca, who made as close as she could to a startled facial expression.
Tracy, I wasn't expecting move.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Good.
Can you do it again?
Yeah. Tracy, I wasn't expecting move.
I said as I forced my way in. I scanned the house, looking for that demon.
Tracy, what's wrong? A lot. But where's the eyeball? Tracy, where is the eyeball?
I said forcefully.
Basement,
she said, while lowering her head. I booked it straight to that basement door, opening it, and almost tripped down the stairs. I saw it sitting there on its same pillow from the birthday party. I got to eye level, pun intended, with this thing.
What the hell did you do to my mom?
I asked, bordering on screaming. It only responded in that distorted French. I don't speak French, so I just kept yelling like an irrational woman would.
Lee Goulet, my mom, the one with only maybe... Wait, what? The one with only maybe had a skeleton, but for sure a heart? The same person who I just learned shares the family's name. I know you did something.
I screamed as it just continued to speak French, but it slightly angered. I screamed as it just continued to speak French, but in a slightly angered tone. It was then the ground started to shake and Harold popped out of the ground beside us like a gopher.
Lee Goulet? There's no Lee Goulet in my family.
He said casually.
Elizabeth Goulet. Come on, she's from this area. How do you think my adoptive parents found her ad? It was from this place's newspaper.
I yelled at Harold. He stopped to think, but then Mama and PP also rose from the dirt like gophers poking their heads out of the dirt.
Oh no, dearie. None of our children are named Elizabeth or Lee. Or cousins or siblings or half-siblings.
Mama explained, but paused at the end.
Or any of the grandparents or parents.
PP added.
Thank you, Bert.
She added. I stood up, slightly calmed down.
I know Goulet isn't an exclusive last name, but come on. I have no organs. I learned I share your family's last name, technically.
I remarked.
Oh yeah, you are related to us. You aren't wrong.
Harold said confidently.
What? Everyone in the neighborhood is related to the Goulet family.
Huh? It was. Then I heard the faint sound of Bianca's yelling,
No!
repeatedly followed by heavy footsteps moving swiftly. I turned around to see Sparky fully sprinting down the stairs and beelining it towards me with perfect running form.
Woof, woof, woof.
He announced in a monotone man's voice, only slightly louder. Oh, shit. He fully tackled me and my head hit the ground real hard. I passed out. Part 9. Who's your pappy?
Who's your pappy? All right, take your guess. Are they telling the truth? If they are, who do you think it is?
I really want to say it's her sister still.
Yeah, I'm rooting for,
because the sister showed up, right?
Yes. What if she's but she was also described as having the same style as our narrator.
And the thing that's throwing me off is because Bianca and her sister both were human looks, and then both of them became on the same day of her wedding day. Does that make sense? Became the husks, but exactly the same.
But if Goulette's the last name, the mom's last name is Delgado. So unless
it would be
it'd be on the father's side. So my guess is it could also be Sparky as the father of the child, because we know the mom's name's Goulette. We don't know what the dad's last name is. So I'm thinking it was Sparky who was the father. He was cursed because he ran away, and they keep him as a dog.
Whoa! I didn't even think.
I'm throwing Hail Mary like I am straight to the end zone. That's
a good one.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's gonna be.
Wait.
Sparky's the dad, and then the mom did die.
And Sparky is cursed because...
And Sparky's cursed because he ran away. He didn't take responsibility for the love child. Which is why Bianca would feel responsible for staying when her body was taken from her, rather than just leaving.
That would be such a good one.
I'm hoping.
God,
I'm throwing...
That's good. That is so good. And that's why... Because Sparky was always nice to her versus everyone else.
Yeah.
Remember how they mentioned that?
Yeah. All right.
Watch me and you just be totally wrong.
Yeah, we could be swinging. Just
it literally could be just like, oh yeah, it's Bianca and Harold's child.
Which I would. Which
honestly, I could see that too. But I think there's more lore.
Yeah.
Like with all this coming out, I feel like there's so much more lore in this.
Okay.
Who's your Pepe?
Part 9, finale. My neighbors are still traumatizing me. Finale! Who's your Pepe?
This will be my last post. You will realize why at the end. I woke up on the blood-soaked couch with a bag of frozen bell peppers and a plastic bag on my head. Saw Bianca and Harold sitting in 2 chairs directly in front of me, and in my peripheral, I saw Sparky in a corner facing a wall like he had been punished.
What the fuck is going on?
I said, my head pounding. I may not have a brain, but it sure feels like I do at the moment. The Goulet couple looked at each other for a moment before Harold took a deep breath, leaning back in the chair, and began to speak.
I'll give you the cliff notes to make it easier for the reader. What? I said I'll give you the cliff notes to make it easier for you later.
He repeated. I sat up, still holding the strange bag to my head that was helping with the pounding feeling.
When Pappy was Zenith, he was the agent of a goddess Eris, the goddess of discord, also known as Chaos. She loved Pappy so much that she blessed him with some of her powers along with other gifts. Well, Pappy, despite having a goddess girlfriend, he loved only one thing equally as much as he loved chaos: brothels. He got lots of women pregnant across the many continents. When Eris found out, she was pissed, taking away his blessing and a bit more, leaving him a giant eyeball. However, because some weird god clause, Pappy got to keep his powers. So now, he uses his power to make all his descendants live in this neighborhood and make us the way we are.
I sat for a minute.
Am I on drugs? Am I in a delusion? This can't be real. You know I was related to you distantly, and didn't bother to give me a heads up about it. Well, most times it manifests in small ways, such as Joe only being able to say 50 words a day, or his vocal cords will melt.
Harold said, looking to his wife.
That's why we were... Wait, is that Bianca? That's why we were so confused when you moved in. There were no obvious signs of you being Pappy's descendant, even though we thought maybe it was something so small you didn't even know.
Bianca replied. I leaned back, flopping back more into the couch, staring at their ceiling.
This seems so cruel. My mom's fate, my fate, your fate, Job's fate. This all seems so anticlimactic. I mean, that's the explanation. My great-great-grandma was a whore, so now I have to impractically rot from the inside out like my birth mom.
I began to cry, using my forearm to cover my eyes. Can't believe this is all. No big finale. No satisfying ending. Just living knowing I was bound to rot like my mom likely did?
How do you think we feel?
Harold said sincerely. I removed my forearms from my eyes.
Tracy, look at me. I have no skin. I bleed constantly. My wife gave up everything to be with me, and Job has to spend the rest of his life earning parts to become more human.
He said firmly. I began to cry harder. I couldn't hold it. I felt like a child having a tantrum. Harold put his hand on my shoulder.
I'm not trying to discredit what will happen to you. I can't imagine what Lee went through. Sometimes irrational or incomprehensible things happen to people. Life is chaos. We have to live in it. We get hurt, we get healthy, we get happy, we get hopeless, we repeat. A lot of the times it's not justified. There's no such thing as justice in discord. We just have to survive, and that's why, as horrible as Pappy is, he at least gives us the one thing he could never truly have. What?
I asked.
A community.
Harold and Bianca said in unison. Then Shaq O'Neill walked in. Is that how you say it?
Shaquille. Shackle.
I just said Shaq.
No, yeah. Shaquille.
Then Shaquille O'Neal walked in. I'm kidding, he did not. We did a big group hug, the three of us. Sparky tried to join us, but then Bianca grabbed the bag from my head and threw it at him, screaming,
Corner!
A lot of people will think this is a cheesy, corny, and unsatisfying end to my little accounts of my neighbors, now family. But do you think being essentially a living piece of Tupperware carrying rotten blood is better? Or if I somehow summoned Eris to smite Pappy more, even though it's against her god, NDA? I will say I did do a few things before returning to my house. First, I went down to the basement and saw Pappy was still down there. I punted the fucker into the wall. He bounced like a beach ball around the room. Second, I made plans for family nights with them. The neighborhood is the only family I will ever truly have. Why not take advantage of it? Third, I picked up Zoe before I left.
I'm taking this.
I said.
Okay.
Harold said. Since then, Zoe had been living with me for about 4 weeks now. The neighborhood is a lot more involved now. We practically have gatherings every night, bonfires, potlucks, you name it. It is hard, though, because my body's starting to show signs of rot. I'm 29, the same age my mom was when she overdosed because she was trying to manage her pain. My body had become stiffer. Feels like steel rods piercing through me. Zoe has helped distract me and my neighbors. The Goulettes, along with David, Joe, and Rosemary, have even come into my house to start helping me. I think my mom becoming pregnant so young sped up the process of the internal rot. I mean, babies stripe so much from you. Imagine that you, on top of having nothing, practically nothing to stripe from. To strip from, sorry. Oh, wait. So I mean, babies strip so much from your Oh my gosh.
I mean, babies strip so much from you. Imagine that on top of having practically nothing to strip from.
I know physically my life will become worse and worse, but emotionally, I have never felt better. Still haunted by the images, though. Sparky now poops in my garden. I let Zoe out to chase him off. When you live in a world of chaos, there is no ending fitting enough to When you live in a world of chaos, there is no ending fitting enough to exemplify the crazy. I wanted to end my writings because I know eventually I'll end up with my mom's fate. rotting in agony, potentially abusing painkillers, but hopefully not. Who knows? I want to start living and stop judging. I've gotten so many answers now. There still remains many questions, but how can I answer what cannot be answered? I still attend therapy, I'm still on Prozac, and Zoe will soon be registered as an ESA. I'll be going on a family trip with the Goulets to Greenland. I guess maybe I'm not as traumatized anymore. I can still feel pain, but it would be sadder if I couldn't. Take care, everyone, and I hope you have Take care, everyone, and I hope you have neighbors as strange yet as loving as mine.
And that was My Neighbors Are Still Traumatizing Me.
Bye.
Mackaroll _165. Okay.
How'd you feel?
I feel like a little bit of a letdown, but not as bad as I was worried about. Because I was really hoping we'd get some answers to some questions. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm moving forward. I'm going to grieve a little bit in my own way.
I'm very disappointed in how it ended.
Yeah.
No, like, I'm going to be blunt because I feel like Mackaroll would want me to.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, and this is not, like, to be rude at all. I am very disappointed because, again, I feel like we could have seen so many cool endings with the fact of how she's related. Just because, okay, I'm going to be blunt, but Mackaroll would like me to be, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel like Mackaroll did really good at showing or having those little, like, specks of reveals throughout the whole story.
Yes.
And because of those reveals, I feel like the ending could have had some cool, like, aha moments at the end of, oh, this is how she's related, da-da-da-da-da. But instead, it went kind of more the fact of, oh, he was a whore.
Yeah,
she was a whore. And now there's so many of these people, right? I'm not going to fault Mackaroll, though, because I think overall the story was really good. I just feel like the ending could have had such a cool ending, but I don't mind the ending. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't feel like the ending does the rest of the story justice.
Yes.
Because we're sitting, this is like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like we have an Olympic runner and they're just fucking doing all the laps. And then the very last lap, we pick like
speed walking.
No, we get like this 300-pound dad from the stands and like, hey, we want you to run as fast as this runner. And it just, of course, he's not going to be able to.
Yeah.
So like, I took us to water to just drain the pond.
And
But
you know what though? Like leading up to it though, I was locked in. You had me locked in.
I was dead set.
So I'm sorry I didn't like your ending, but I loved the story. I was so confident. And again, like by what I'm not going to say chapter, part 8 or part, really it was like part 6 all the way until the end of part 8. Oh, me and you were going off on like, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like we are trying to foreshadow everything. Like we're trying to guess the ending.
The MCU, the Mackaroll Cinematic Universe. Whoa. Or the Mesoscale Cinematic Universe.
Whoa.
Goddamn.
But, I think it was honestly such a good story. I just don't like the ending very much. Because, again, it's not the fact, like, I think adding the fact of, like, okay, she was a whore, da-da-da-da.
It was the main dude was a whore.
Oh, the guy was a whore.
I feel like
and that's why, and, like, I like the fact that it was, like, he was a whore, so because of that, he had to be punished, and so he turned into an eyeball thing, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I think that was a cool factor that you added. The thing that I think, though, was I like the more storyline of, because she's trying to find who she is and trying to figure out why she has these weird neighbors, instead of playing more on the, oh, they're like, in the universe, there's so many people who had his kids, it could have been like, oh, because of him, or because of this is why she went and was adopted, so she could try and live a normal life. Like, to me, that just seems like such a cool idea.
Yeah.
Because it felt like it was leading into that.
And, like, we were finding red herrings where I guess they just weren't.
And I guess we were just seeing things that they were just not red herrings. And which is cool, too. I think that's such a cool thing to do,
It's very talented storytelling is what that is.
Yeah.
Like, this entire story demonstrates a clear understanding of narrative telling, a clear understanding of the, what did they call it? The flow map?
Mm-hmm.
Like, resolution or exposition.
Yes.
Climax, resolution. And so, man, it was just so well done.
It was. And you know what? Even though the ending wasn't my personal favorite, I think Mackaroll did really good with writing this, and I'm so impressed with how this story turned out. I really am.
I agree. I totally agree.
I will admit, in the beginning of like part 2, that was probably one of my least favorite parts. Not because it wasn't good. It was just I like the other parts a little bit better. But I started to kind of be like, okay, I'm not like super interested, but I was like, I still am interested. Mm-hmm. But then part 3 hit, and I was like, holy crap, I am locked in to this.
Yeah.
So,
what would you rank it?
Sorry, I'm looking up one thing really, really fast. Let's start with you. What would you rank it while I look at this up?
I'm gonna give it a full 5. I think where we've experienced kind of this beautiful world that was crafted, the executions were just extremely well done. Everything flowed very nicely, and it felt complete. And I think we don't see that a whole lot, especially with Reddit horror stories. But this up there with, in my opinion, Tales from the Gas Station. Yeah, I'd even go as far to say, with how connected I felt with the characters, up there with Left Right Game. Like, it is one of those stories where I'm connected, I'm feeling with the characters. There's events that are taking place and I'm like, oh no. But it's so well done that I don't feel like I can justify giving it a 4 because of the ending.
I think if you want me to be like super picky, like I'm saying super, super picky, I would give it a 4 because I feel like there could have been more with the ending.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm not going to let that ruin my scoring, because in the end, you wrapped it up so well for being yes, it is a 9-part story. And of course we have those little things, but at that point, in my opinion, that's my opinion versus some other people who might be like, oh, this story ended great. I think that's great. You know, I'm not going to let the ending for me fault my scoring. So I'm going to give it a 5. The one, I am going to nitpick just a little bit, real fast. 1, I would go over a little bit of your grammar, because there's a few very limited spots that needs to just kind of clean up these sentences just a little bit, because there's a few like spelling errors or added the same word repeated and stuff like that.
Yeah.
These are nitpicks, so I'm literally nitpicking you. So that's why I say still 5. Because I still want to give a little bit of criticism. graphic. I would say just to polish it up, really. And then, of course, mainly because I don't like the ending as much, but I still love the story. The story itself, I want to give you praise because this story locked me in. It was this gory, made me want to vomit in my mouth a few times, and made me fall in love with characters, made me feel all the feels, and in the end, they come together and they're one big family, one big community. You really set this whole story up to being something phenomenal. And I see this story taking, and I haven't read any of your other work, but, or because I see that you have other stories. I want to read those. But this story was so well done that I think this will take you so many places.
I agree.
This story, I will come back to. This is one that I will talk about all the time. This is one that I cannot even explain to you how much I enjoyed it. And that's saying, not to like, whether it's a pat, I'm not saying anything, not saying how picky I am or whatever. I don't say that often about stories. I really don't. And so for the fact that this story really, even with the ending, and even with how picky I've been being on the ending, this story was so phenomenally done that I hope you get the praise that you deserve for this story.
I agree.
I really do. And I know I probably am sounding rambled because I ramble a lot, but I want you to know, even with those little nitpicks, you put out such a phenomenal story. I'm speechless.
I am too, and I'm very grateful that we were given the chance to read this. And
I know
introduced.
It was a long episode. Like, this is going to be like a 3-hour episode, but I think this was so worth it.
Yeah, keep it up, Mackaroll. Keep writing.
I know at the time that you guys are hearing this, we're in August 2026. I know Mackaroll right now is currently on a hiatus due to personal school reasons. And so, just so everybody knows, we're very, and I'm going to make sure that this is okay that I say this in the end, but, because Mackaroll is on a hiatus, I'm not sure if they will be able to officially see comments or see people on Reddit right now. But, so I just want to preface that they are not ignoring you. They are just working their ass off to work on provide their future. And so they will be popping in and out a few times, but it's just bear with them if they don't respond back to you guys, if you guys end up going to read and reach out to them. Mm-hmm. But we just want to say thank you so much again, Mackaroll. This was such a cool story. It was so cool to get to know you in our interview and then also read your work. We cannot wait to read more of your work.
Stay in touch.
Please stay in touch with us. We know that you have so many things going on in your life, and we are so proud of you. And we cannot wait to see how far you go in life. But we would love to read more of your work. And I know hopefully everybody else will fall in love with this story as well as much as we did. Is there anything else you would like to say?
I think that's all.
With that being said,
you've
been
scaled.
Peace.
Deuces.